Cause you don't know a thing about the squad. Nah. You ignorant as fuck, whoa. You wanna disrespect, you better not. Cause you don't know a thing about the squad. Cause you don't know a thing about the squad. You ignorant as fuck, whoa. You wanna disrespect, you better not. Cause you don't know a thing about my fucking squad.
Shut up and take my money.
Track 1, 2.
Cause you don't know a thing about the squad. You ignorant as fuck. You wanna disrespect, you better not.
Bro, the fade out. The fade out. Welcome to SKWADcast episode 20. I'm Ninja Twan, aka Cat Daddy, aka the guy that does shit. Yeah. I'm here with my co-host. Is my what?
Did you down Rodon?
Did I? Yes, I did. I did. Were you
Godslayer.
not here? Were you not here when I murdered that man?
I
You
wasn't paying
were.
attention.
Bro, no, I murdered the shit out of that man. We can talk about how I did that too. It was fucking dope. To my, I guess, stream right, we have Reverie, aka the Fat Man, aka Big Boy, aka the man who possibly got a job. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Just coming down from the stress. Interviews.
Yeah, I see you got the baby face going on today.
Mm-hmm.
You went,
It's easier to just chop it all off than to shape it up to look good, you know.
right. You went full Tommy Boy on this interview.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
So you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Make sure you look good.
I just needed a little coat.
Yeah. Gotcha. To my left, man, then I just call you the Penguin. To my left,
Oh, no, not that.
our other co-host. It is Kami, aka Kami Senpai, aka Senpai Gang Gang.
Gang. Hey man, I'm chilling. I'm making it through, making it through.
We got a lot to talk about. This is 3 weeks later.
It's been a while.
3 weeks later. We've had President's Day, we've had Valentine's Day, and then we had a sleeping incident. And we're back. It's been a while. I'm hype. I'm ready to do this show today. We got a lot to talk about. We got some stuff to react to. As you can see, there's no Final Fantasy in the background today. Praise the sun. It's only because Final Fantasy is going down for maintenance tonight. So, and that's in
30 minutes.
what? Yeah, or less. Yeah, because it's
27 minutes.
Eastern. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're just gonna knock our little segments out the way. We got some books. No manga today, but books.
Actual books today. We do actual books now.
So we're gonna call it. We're not gonna name it after you, right? We're not gonna name it after you. We're just gonna call it.
This is the
reading note.
squad. No. This is the squad book club right now.
Oh,
that's where we're
okay.
at. This is squad book club meeting.
Okay. It's time for the squad book club, and we'll let.
I forgot my tea.
Oh damn! You fucking up, bro.
10 minutes.
Oh shit! 10 minutes. Get a Keurig.
Just get really hot water. You'll be alright, bro.
Yeah. Well, no, Keurig. You push the button.
Like, bro,
Done.
make sure the hot water heater is turned
That
up
chai
all
tea?
the way.
Ooh, yeah.
chai tea?
Man, I got some chai tea K-cups. Yeah. Nice and spicy.
It
Yeah.
depends. I've had bad chai tea, and that's why I'm like, I need some good chai tea.
You can have bad any tea. Let's be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need some good.
That's like going to the store and buying Lipton like tea, like the tea bags. Like Lipton, of all the tea you could have purchased, you purchased Lipton.
Look, I buy the Lipton, but then of course I turn that into sweet tea. So there's a lot of sugar involved.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that,
because
man.
y'all don't have true sweet tea up there. You right?
Yeah.
No,
no,
over,
they don't do that out here.
over
They
there.
don't do that
It's
over here.
and up.
They
It's
don't do that over
diagonal.
here.
The only thing up is the people that are high on meth. Okay, they're not up
Man.
anyway.
Sweet tea is 2
The-
Splenda packets. It's pretty sweet,
the-
ain't it?
The
Right,
only
right.
place out here that you can get halfway decent sweet tea is this place called the Skillet. Okay.
And that's because they fucking moved from Louisiana up there or Alabama or some shit. That's why.
It's
Yep.
called the skillet. Oh my
Well, you
god.
already know.
Oh, this
They're
Oh
from
my
down
God.
here and they moved up there. You know.
That sounds like friendly or Cracker Barrel. Oh man, you walk in,
Yeah,
bro.
oh
Could you
my.
imagine like being a greeter for that place? Like, what's up, home skillet? I would slap the,
Oh my
shit out of
God.
It's
somebody.
called Skillet. You literally walked in and saw the sign. It said Skillet. It's
Right,
cool.
right. What did you just say to me? Oh my gosh.
You should have expected this walking in, dog. Like,
Well,
this is your
hold on.
fault.
Yeah.
Hold on. We already
Yeah.
diverted. We diverted, right? We diverted. But let me ask a question. Are you a tea with milk person or no?
Mm,
It depends on the tea.
not normally.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a good tea with milk? Sleepy time tea. Because it gives you the right amount of like heaviness so that it like slows you down and makes you tired. You know what I mean? Oh, you just had to point.
Yeah, like that was Bay.
Ask her why she looked like a Dragon Ball Z character today, bro.
Hey man, she got shit that she got to do. You know,
Yeah,
she got to feel powerful to go do powerful shit.
Right,
you know?
right. I'm waiting for her to power up and slap you in the back of the head and say, "Hey, I like your cut, G."
Oh no. That day has passed.
Oh, my bad. All right. So, squad reading nook.
Yes.
The squad,
All
squad, the squad
book club.
book club. Squad book club. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Book number 1.
All right. Book number 1. This for them zombie folks out there. We're gonna go with Zombie CSU by Jonathan Mayberry,
which I have not started yet, but I am very excited to read.
So it's a little bit different from what I expected. You know, I expected going in something like Zombie Survival Guide, where it's going to be kind of funny. But like this guy actually writes like crime novels. So like this book is actually him talking to CSIs, detectives, forensic pathologists, and all of that. And they're walking through, hey, if a zombie outbreak happened, this is how police would actually respond to it. So they're breaking it down like for real forensically, and it's pretty fucking interesting. I didn't expect it.
You want to hear some real shit? The military actually has a zombie response guide.
Oh yeah, real
like actual like no
this
shit.
Is just telling you how cops would do it instead. You know, because it's not going to be as intensive. Like they're going to investigate everything first. So, like this is hey, we had one assailant that we don't know is a zombie yet, and we had one person witness it, and like the cops are investigating from the very first death.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool, dope.
Yeah, I'm interested because so I did download the book, but I started the Romero book first. The one I told you about, the newest Night of the Living Dead book.
I also bought that one.
Oh, right. So like when it comes to like reading books, like you're a little bit more ADHD with books than I am. I'm more ADHD with video games and music. So for me, I have to pick a book and then finish it and then start the next one, or I will never go back. So
I have 4 books in the rotation, at least 4 books in the rotation right now, not including the ridiculous amount of manga. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Your reading is like my video game collection.
I consume a lot of print media. Yeah.
And the other book?
So the other one, we're going with The 3-Body Problem by Xin Liu. This one, it's set in like 1960s Chinese Revolution is how it starts out, but it's going to involve at some point, if you look it up, it involves aliens. And like I started it, and because it's part of a series, and I was like, all right, let me read the first book, and I was like, okay, we're talking about some revolutionary shit, and then it went off the rails. Like we're talking about like physics and everything. Like one of the things is like one of the quotes is, physics doesn't exist, it's all been a lie. and it's because they've done some experiments with particle accelerators, and they can never get the same result twice. Like what they think should happen never happens, and then they use a pool table analogy, and some shit happens. Like there's one guy that's working on nanotechnology, and he starts seeing a countdown that's just counting down, and he doesn't know why, but only he sees it on unless he stops his experiments that he's doing, and then the countdown stops for everybody. And it involves a VR game. It's so much and only 100 pages, but it's a really dope sci-fi ride so far.
Nice. And I've been looking for a good remember we were talking about it recently. Like, man, if I can find something that's Star Wars but not Star Wars, I'd be 100% in.
It ain't there yet, but I feel like it's going to be once the aliens actually show up, because it was just like, hey, we were working on this mountain. There's a random fucking satellite that if people get close to it, when the antenna is extended, they start feeling sick, and animals hate it, and they're like, running away from the signal and everything. So it's been all over the place. But like what we were talking about with one of the homies in chat, when you're reading something and you're focused on one character and then it just switches to another character, that kind of happened, and I was like, wait, we were setting up something over here, and now we've time skipped 40 years in the future.
Right.
So I'm like, damn.
Got you.
I want to know what happens with this person though. But now, like this new dude, I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool.
That's my problem with My Hero Academia, except My Hero is like 100 times like more of that.
Nah, it's not. It feels like that, but it's not.
It definitely feels like that to me. But yeah, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I did write the name down, something that I'm going to take a look at. And I can't wait for Amazon to unlock the club that I created. Because once I do, man, it'd be kind of cool to get people in to check out the books and, have a chat. Yeah. Anything else for us? Do you have a manga this week? Or, I mean, it's been 3 weeks, right? I hope
I can literally find one. Hold on.
You don't find one. I thought you said you had one.
No, I was reading some. Oh well, actually, one that just ended today. It was the Duke of Death and his Black Maid, I think it's called. And it's because Homeboy is cursed. Whatever he touches dies. And it had a really satisfying final chapter. So, I'm good about this now. We got 217 chapters out of it. It ended well. We're good.
What's the genre?
Comedy, rom-com, and supernatural. Yeah, supernatural. I think that's all that they have up there. But yeah.
Been a good month for you. As far as
good
content consumption.
Day. Yes.
Good day for
and tragedy. There's tragedy, but it's because like he has a bad relationship with his family because he has a curse that whatever he touches dies. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, from there we're gonna hop right into game talk because we got a lot of games to talk about. We're not gonna start with Elden Ring though. We're gonna start with some other stuff. I set this up to one way, and I think I'm gonna set it up a different way. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and add to window capture. Boom. I just need to fix the positioning. We're good. That way I don't have to move anything. Everything can just stay exactly the way it is. Wait, did I move somebody? Okay, I did not. I'm gonna move this. I did not. Don't do this. Don't be like this. Okay. Up. What I did do is add it to the wrong set though. There we go.
Just left for me.
No, if for some reason it's trying to put it into my camera group. So it's going to try to like move stuff around that it shouldn't. There we go. Bam. Cut that out. Cut a little bit of that out.
Hey, hold up. Where's Wiggly at? He asked if we were streaming today.
This. And then, oh, you know what? I think the problem might be, yeah, okay, so I can't do it this way. Okay. I'll do it the other way. I'll move you guys over here, and then put us into reactions. This makes life easy for me. And then, so you guys can see. Okay. So, like I mentioned, we do have a lot going on as far as videos and stuff.
I see all of the tabs.
Yeah, they cannot. They cannot. We can, they cannot. So here's the thing. Okay. I'm going to bring up a video. I have the first one already. Well, let me actually change it because I meant to do this first. I have this one already queued up. We'll watch it, talk about what we think since none of us have played it yet, obviously. And then we'll move on to the next ones. And we have some Metacritics and stuff set up for the other ones, specifically games that we've played and ones that are out. So we have a bunch to go over. I just like looking at Metacritic to see what people are saying, because sometimes it's really fucking dumb and we get to laugh at it. It's great. So the first one is Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. I'm sure people have watched it before. I have not. I'm going in blind. Have not watched the trailer yet. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me check the volume, and let me actually check this volume, so I don't make that same mistake. There we go. Okay. I want to see these new starters. Huh?
Full screen that should be.
I can't full screen. If I full screen it, it's gonna break.
Yep. You're right.
Because it'll be super ultra wide. I don't think it's. Hold on, but I will do this. For some reason, it looks like it shifted. So let me.
Yeah, it shifted up.
Fix that. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but it is what it is. I guess it's just video based, so I'm just gonna leave the borders just in case. Okay. So this is the announcement trailer. But I think we've seen this one before. It's like I thought we saw something like this.
If anything, this reminds me of the Detective Pikachu trailer.
I think this is reused. Actually,
I like that they're going with the color along the wall, though.
Yeah, so that it kind of matches. Yo, imagine being the guard. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Get me out of here.
Right. I'm not trying to get Isekai today, please. Thanks.
So is it? But is this another Isekai game though, like Arceus?
No. I don't think it is.
It looks like there's more open world than the other games. I wonder if they're just showing us the open world areas.
Yeah. I think like Arceus is going to be the move moving forward, dog.
It should. It's like the most it is their most polished Pokemon game to date, and it's the most quote unquote innovative, right? I say quote unquote because really it's not innovative. It's just different.
Hey, bro.
You gotta do your laundry, bro.
I'm with it, bro. You know, gotta air dry it since it's got good weather outside. Hey, that's what OLED do.
All right. This isn't Final Fantasy 14. No, it's not. This is the SKWADcast. Welcome, Lulu. Oh, did I not change? I thought I changed the thingamajigger.
Fuckboy duck, let's go.
I changed the. So I feel some type of way about this. I'm not gonna lie. Let me go to my dashboard. So, obviously, first look at the game, right? You saw the starters, James. I know you're not one typically to talk Pokemon or bring up Pokemon and stuff, right? So, what is your first impression, considering you bought Pokemon Arceus and have not played the game?
I don't know. I used to be a big fan, like back in high school. I don't know. It's not the same game anymore.
Doesn't have that same like magical draw for you.
It doesn't have that. It's like back in the day. Okay.
Which was a Thursday, by the way.
It was a Thursday.
It was a game. Like it was more or less a nice little distractor. But like now, like playing Sword and Shield, it kind of like I knew what was it, Diamond and stuff like that. Like kind of I fell out of it because they put too much into the game to like play it at a high level competitive type of thing, and it's like I don't like that side of things. Like
to be fair,
it was always there. You just didn't know it was there.
Min-maxing has always been there, and I agree with you because I've always been a casual Pokemon player. I've never been a one that for min-maxing EVs and IVs, though I did know they were there. But outside of that, they've actually removed a lot of stuff from Pokemon games. So like you remember in Diamond and Pearl and some of the other ones, we had like the contests. Contests haven't been in the game for a couple generations now, and they were a good non-battling distractor. But like now it's just hit your open world, go get the best roster you can, and wreck the Pokemon League and keep it moving.
Well, they have different contests per se. Like they had the frou whatever, and they have like it's not the same ones, but like in I thought in Sword and Shield you got like that dog Pokemon and you can dress it up and stuff, and there was competition for that. I thought there was some things.
I think it's pictures or some shit, but honestly, I didn't even know that existed.
Pictures.
And Poke contests were literally like, "Hey, bro, you walked into the town. Hey, you can do Poke contests if you want." I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, why not?"
Well, you got to think too, like. So, James, back when you played like Pokemon more often, when it was like a couch co-op type thing, EVs, IVs, those tournament features were there.
There were no IVs.
Yeah, there were. They were there. They definitely were. The thing
IVs
is
weren't called IVs yet. They were a hidden stat that existed that people didn't care about yet.
And you could calculate them and then determine how to train your Pokemon based off of that. It's been around forever. The thing that happened later on is that it started to become more mainstream. They started adding items to boost those stats. Then eventually they said, well, this is too hard for everybody. We're going to make it a mini game. So then they made mini games so that you could train your Pokemon's EVs and IVs. You just had to breed a Pokemon that was able to accept all of the additional stats. And then they watered it down even more. So in Sword and Shield is actually like baked into the game. EVs and IVs are extremely easy to do. You can either do it two ways, so you can do it an easy way and a hard way. The hard way is to go out, find what type of Pokemon you need to fight and battle 1,000 of them until you get the stats you want. Or you could go do the training system in the game, which is just, like I said, another mini game.
Your problem is the meta or solved game aspect. Yes, because people will find the meta and just rock that.
The problem with meta gaming too is that like it trickles down from pretentious game sites that create the meta. And like I won't call out any places or anything like that, but like there are two separate leagues for a reason, right? There are traditional leagues and then there's a Nintendo league, right? Like when you play the Nintendo game, you have access to all the Pokemon. You can play the game the way you want to play it versus other people and have tournaments and stuff like that. We actually even tried getting local tournaments together here in my hometown, well, in my home city, we'll say. but it didn't really fire off. We didn't have enough people, but like there are leagues online that play online too that have lots of restrictions, which paints people into boxes where then like these unique metas form. And I agree with Gotham, like they're very it's almost like why play the game if I have to play the same 8 Pokemon that everybody else is playing in order to be successful? And then it's literally just mirror matches the entire time. So I do agree with that. But a lot of the people that win are the outliers, which is even cooler because like eventually a first place is taken by something you're like, holy fuck, how did they win with this? Like,
and like, bro, that Pokemon is terrible. What?
Well, right. But in this current quote meta unquote, but like you could say that for card games too, right? Magic, Pokemon card game, Yu-Gi-Oh, anything that has some.
Like the good thing about the meta is if you want to do something completely different, you can literally sit down and say, okay, this is what everyone's going to be playing.
How do I beat it?
All of those.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
for sure.
Plenty of people do it.
Yeah, because like I mean, yeah, like Magic, you got usually there's like the top 3 decks, and it's this one beats this one, and then that one beats this one, and this one beats that one.
Well, sometimes it's just the top 1 deck, and they're all just playing each other too.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to wait for you got to wait for the next set of cards to come out so that they can then fight or errata those cards, or sometimes those cards get banned. I agree with James. Meta stands for most effective tactic available, meaning like it's like you said, you played Magic in the 90s. I've been playing Magic since they were throwing cards off the back of trucks in the early 90s when I was in middle school, right? And from any game that you play, right? Like if you're not playing the meta, you're playing to have fun, right? You play with friends, you have a deck that you like, you have a good time, you play, your friend plays that deck that they like, and then eventually you start to build skills, right? Then one of you get into the game and the other one may not get into the game. And the person that's into the game, what do? They build a deck, and that deck is a good deck. And then you have to play that deck and you're like, man, this really sucks. Like it is too good. I can't beat it with these decks that I have fun with because they're playing and they call it a net deck, right? Like that was the whole shtick back in the day. So the conversation when I was playing semi-pro and Magic was, do you want to have fun or do you want to win?
Yep.
And that's what I would ask everybody. James heard it from me, I'm sure.
Yep. And what's funnier than winning? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it was one of those things. Like I would always have a friend that'd be like, man, yeah, I started playing Magic. I'm like, okay, cool. Like you've got a duck build. Yeah, I've got my black deck, and I'm like, oh man, like. All right, so first off, we're going to take a look at the deck and we're going to fix it. Or we're going to look at what's good right now. We're going to teach you how to play these decks. Because if you want to be good at the game, there are 2 different types of gameplay, right? Like James in Pokemon is a very much like, I want to play the game, I want to have fun, I want to take the 6 Pokemon that I love and try to beat your ass with it, right? And I'm on the other side of the coin, like and Corey, I'm on the other side of the coin. I am literally strategically building Pokemon teams to go into tournaments and destroy people. You know what I mean?
Also kind of me.
Like Tommy was there. Me and Damien for literally 3 months were building Pokemon teams and testing them against fucking streamers on Twitch. Literally just breaking into Twitch streams
when we were doing that. When we were doing the tourney for the con, yeah.
Yeah, literally I went to a Comic-Con, like it was a mini con at the school that we used to work at, and literally just ran house with a Pokemon team because it's one of those things. Like someone's like, oh, I'm gonna play you with my whole Eevee team, I'm like, that's cool and all, but like
that team.
the stats on an Eevee are really bad. Like if you get hit by anything good, like it just auto dies unless it's like the fairy Pokemon, I forget the name of it, which is really good, and Vaporeon, which also not bad, right? And Dilchon is extremely fast, but if you have all 3 of them on the same team, it doesn't really give you any sort of advantage over anybody else because dual typing is a thing. But yeah, so Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, I'm pretty excited for. I don't think I'll buy it day 1 this time.
I probably won't, but I know I'll probably buy it within the first 2 weeks. It's definitely going to be within the first month. And apparently, like, your outfits availability they may differ I saw something about it depending on which game, like your starting outfit or some shit like that. So I'm like, what other differences are we gonna get? Like that's one of the first times where we're doing, hey, your visuals are gonna be different depending on which version. Usually it's some version exclusive Pokemon, and you're like, all right, cool. So I get one copy, you get the other copy, we're good.
Right.
But like, I'm interested to see where this goes.
I mean, look at what they did with Arceus. You see what they did? They gave us DLC based off of previously owned games, which is the first time they've ever done that.
I mean, they did it in Sword and Shield too. Like, hey, if you had Eevee, they gave you the Eevee stuff. If you had Pikachu, they gave you the Pikachu stuff.
Right, but it's becoming more prevalent. Yeah, what I'm saying.
Because of Let's Go.
Right.
In my opinion, it's because of Let's Go.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Jolteon was your favorite. Jolteon's a great Pokemon. It's great artwork. I love I still consider Pokemon classes, like I'll call it class fantasy. Like if I was a Pokemon trainer, having a Jolteon would be dope just because it looks, edgy as fuck. Like
Umbreon was the homie. I was like,
Umbreon dope too.
That's
yeah,
that dude, yo.
but Espeon was like super sleek. Cool. Yeah. So like
Glaceon is my favorite new one, with Sylveon as a close second for the new ones. Yeah, I do like Sylveon.
Sylveon, I think, is my favorite of the EVs, and coincidentally, the most powerful of them right now. So, like, it just makes it like literally, it's fast, it's tanky, and it kills dragons. Like, it's too good. It's just way too good.
I just need my Eevee with a Dragon Stone for it to work, bro.
I love the wild cards. Playing against them would make me excited to play. Yeah. So I was actually looking at my Facebook, memories or whatever popped up, and it was a tournament that I went to, and I nearly made top 8, which obviously is a big deal. But like I made it in the top 8 and almost made it in the first 3 in. For there was a Star City Games tournament playing because like everyone was playing Black Blue Control, and I decided to, instead of play Black Blue Control, play Poison, and nobody else was playing this deck. I was the only person, and I took a win off of a really high level Magic player and a couple others. So it was actually pretty cool. Like, and that was a deck nobody was playing. Like, it was the same thing essentially, except my kill was faster because of Poison. So people didn't see it coming. They were looking just for the control matchup. So what happens is they would then swap cards in to kind of like deal with the control matchup. Come to find them, just murdering them with Poison, and then they would just lose. It was actually pretty good. So like, playing an outlier deck is never a bad thing. It can definitely be to your benefit. However, there are just some cards that are not made equally, or Pokemon in that matter. Like there are Pokemon that sometimes you just have to have on a team, whether you're following the meta or not. Like there are just some that are just stat-wise just better than everything else. And if you're not using some of them, you stand to lose, right? Like you're not going to go in like... You can go into a game or a fight with a Pikachu, but like you have to remember, Pikachu is a first Evo. It's not even evolution. Its stats are like minimal. So like even though Pikachu may be your favorite Pokemon, like he's gonna get breathed on the wrong way, and you're going to sleep. Yeah, exactly. All right. So with that said, we'll move to the next game.
Do you think we're getting a new evolution? Personally,
yes.
I don't think we will.
It'll only happen if we get a new typing, which I don't think we are.
I don't think we're getting. It's been too long. I think we got, like you're saying, if we get a new typing, we got Sylveon because they gave us Fairy type, and Eevee is like backup fucking mascot Pokemon. I don't think they give us another one yet because we could have easily already had an Eevee of every type.
Right, because we didn't get one in Sword and Shield.
Nope. When are they gonna start doing the dual typing EVs?
They won't.
Bro, give me a dual type Eevee, I'm wrecking. Let's go.
The reason why they won't do that is because Eevee's meant to be one of everything. And that's why we don't have anything new yet, is because there's the only type of Eevee we could get is ground type at this point. Ground, rock, or steel. And I don't think we get any of those.
We can't have a ghost Eevee because that would mean we have to kill an Eevee.
Right, exactly. So All right. That said, we're going to move on to this next game, and this is one that we've all been playing, and off and on for me, more so on for Corey, and I know off and on for Rev. We kind of got to a spot, and me and Rev fell off because other games came out. But we're talking a bit more about Dying Light 2. Oh.
Damn, bro, you ain't cut it. Forgot to pause early. Damn.
We'll blow your head off.
Sweet. Love you too.
You better get it right. Now listen, Steve. Don't try to warn anyone.
Here. I'll pause it. I'll be a good streamer. We can have a chat with the people that have subs though. Got him. I hope you're having a great day. Who else is here today? Obviously, Lulu chimed in earlier, but I don't know if she's still here or not. She probably just bounced in for a second and then left. Let's see who do we got in here. Damn. We got Lana Ray, Lulu, Layla Tuff. Respectfully, Richie shows up in the list. I don't know if this list is updated because it says there are 9 people. There are like 15 people
20
in the chat list.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too. I was like, bro,
Some of them are probably muted. That's why. If they're
like 37 people here.
Huh?
Timmy, what's up?
What's up, Timmy? What's up, Richie? If what happens is if they have us muted or say they came from Jiro stream on Saturday and just never closed the window or never refreshed, like that could be another thing. Like there's definitely reasons that could happen. We only talked about one game and we are 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a long one today. I don't have a bank account anymore. Other than that, I'm doing good. Wait, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds terrible, dude.
Yeah, that sounds super shitty.
Pain without love. All right. So we've all seen the video for Dying Light. We're not going to go ahead and sit through it and listen to it. We've all watched it. We've played the game. Corey, you are currently the furthest in Dying Light 2.
Am I?
How has your experience? Yeah, between me and James, you've gotten the furthest. You got to the grappling hook.
Yeah.
What do you think your experience from day one compared to today is? And currently, what do you rate the game?
Currently, I still get a high rating. I'm gonna say if I'm being a little bit more critical, it's probably like a 7.5, right? So the gameplay is dope. I enjoy the parkour mechanics. I'm having fun with the story, but some of the dialogue pacing is terrible. Some of the they show the character Lawan. Some of your interactions with Lawan don't really make sense in the grand scheme. So it's like going off of what I just did, this interaction does not make any sense. Right now, I know that some of my choices are going to impact, but I wish there was a more immediate show of what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the characters are written very well. Like I got introduced to the leader of the Peacekeepers. I felt one way, now I feel a different way. The same thing about the new leader of the survivors in the second area. I felt one way, now I feel a different way. And you're like, okay, cool. Another thing with some of the mechanics, you're getting your Night Runner tools, and this is a game, where you're crafting your tools and everything, and you do have to upgrade them. And I feel almost forced to upgrade some of them because, we'll go with the parachute. The parachute without the first level upgrade is fucking horrible. You can't steer that shit. You can't your stamina drains so fast using it because it's stamina based too. But once you get that first upgrade, it's a different paraglider. Why wasn't this like this
originally?
Off rip? Yeah, so if it takes me 4 seconds to take a turn up unupgraded, I do the very first upgrade and now it's a 2-second turn. You could have just gave me a 2-second turn and made it better originally.
Resource
but yeah, it's definitely, hey, you have a crafting system. I want you to use the crafting system because they give you so many melee weapons. You don't really need to craft anything. This is if you're using throwables, that's all you really need to craft because they give you so much of everything in this game.
remember our first thing was how do we repair our weapons, and then come to find out, I stopped asking that question real fast.
Like for real, like I was using them because like you break a weapon, you pick up 3 to replace it. It doesn't even matter.
Like I haven't had that experience. Like I'm getting a ton of equipment, but like most of the stuff that I'm picking up is shittier than what I'm using.
Yeah. So like I agree with you with the
like,
weapons.
It's great that I'm getting a ton of different weapons and everything, but if they're like half the damage of what I'm currently using,
I mean, because
like I have
what
to
build are you
like
using?
I'm just doing whatever, having fun with the game.
And you're using melee weapons primarily?
Yep.
Like for me, because I don't
Like
since I got a
the
bow,
bow has no durability loss, so you
Awesome.
end the entire game.
You literally don't need anything else, and
Like,
that's my playthrough with Dying Light. As soon as I get a bow, I no longer need any other weapon.
It's like you've just broke your entire system as soon as you get it. Then from that point forward, the only thing you're doing is okay. Well, I just gained a level. Run around to every shop to find the upgraded bow. That's it. Like
Actually, I gave
that's
Corey my level 4 bow, and he's never upgraded from it, at least so far.
Yeah, I have not needed to upgrade it until now, because now the enemies are at the level of the bow, so I'm doing about the same amount of damage. It's no longer one-shotting.
I gave that to him before we even got to the new area. That was like, because I still can't even make arrows yet. Like I can make lightning arrow or fire arrows.
I can make literally every arrow in the game right now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure because you're further ahead.
They have fucking infection arrows in the game. They're fucking amazing. Only against human enemies.
Yeah, that's how it always is, though.
Guess what? I'm fighting against not human enemies most of the time.
So, just to respond to Gotham real quick, the thing about
I agree with you. It does feel forced.
The thing about the game, and I'm not nearly as far. I literally just got through the tunnel, and got the encounter with possible dear old dad and all that stuff. But the thing that I have understood playing even just the first game is that the main story was okay in the first game, right? It wasn't the greatest story. It was just okay. But the side quests were phenomenal. We could talk about the twins building an airplane.
I swear I've spent 25 hours in the first area only doing side quests.
That's all I've done, yeah. And then remember this is how much more memorable the side quests are than the main story. Bro, you remember the one where the dude was like, "Hey, my mom really likes chocolate and movies."
Bro, so I love that guy, but I hated that fucking side quest so much.
Right. But I mean, it was like entertaining, and this game is like that. The only one that I was real pissed about was the lady and her freaking scarf, the singer, because when you get done at the end and she can't fucking sing, I was like, this is the payoff in this is amazing.
It's more funny because like if you did that side quest that you're talking about, right, later in a story quest, a similar situation happens, and it's more funny if you did that side quest. So you're like, another motherfucker that can't sing.
Nice. Yeah, it's just like I feel like the game was made right. They're like, okay, we're gonna take the first game and we're gonna build on what we did that was great. The gameplay of that game is phenomenal. The parkour feels great. Like in the first game, because of like the weird tech issues with the PlayStation 4 where I was playing originally and stuff, like it was like it used to hurt my eyes moving around in that game because the heavy film grain, like everything seemed dusty. There was no controlling the motion blur. Even playing on PC had the same issues. You couldn't turn any of that stuff off. Like it would make my eyes like hurt. I would have headaches playing the game sometimes. But I loved it so much because the gameplay was so good. Grappling, hooking like fucking Spider-Man into a zombie, drop kicking him across the fucking planet, pulling out the crossbow, shooting another zombie in the head.
I enjoy it because the drop kick across the planet is just the standard drop kick now.
Right.
Everybody, dog.
But that's the thing. It's not nearly as good as it was when they turned the gravity off on that shit. Yeah, it was so good. But again, I'll double down on what Corey said and You know, the story itself, even in just the first area, is very much like, even though they have like an all-star cast too, like the cast of characters that they have, the voice actors are phenomenal. And like, it's really hard. Like, it's just like watching the first Venom movie. Like the actors are fantastic, but like, you can't carry a bad script. And it's unfortunate that like the story is just so disjointed, and like it feels like, hey, we have this place that you're at and people are alive, and because you know you're in a city that's built up, like things just aren't scary anymore. And the whole
like, that was what I was saying. Like that was one of my whole things, is that you only seen a viral in that one cutscene, and I was like, yo, where the fuck are the virals at? And then I finally found more virals, and I was like, all right, I'm just as fucking scared, but like, why are y'all not roaming the streets like normal?
No. Me,
my thing.
James, and Tad went into one of the hospitals, and
that's where they're all at.
Hold on, but it turned daytime when we were walking down the ladder.
Or I don't go there if it's after 4 a.m. I'm not going to a dark zone because I'm not going to clear it in time.
But it was the first one that we looked into. We literally just went down the ladder to see what it was, and then we walked down one flight of stairs. His motherfucker was staring at us, and it was, and we were all just, and I was like, oh God,
started throwing shit at it.
It was
fucking murder
so quick.
It was so crazy. And that was what I wanted from the rest of the game. But currently, I have more problems with the human NPCs than I do with the zombies because they block.
Bro, they block and they do dumb shit. Like, there's one dude that fucking literally spits fire at you. And I'm like,
oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Bro, I fucking hate you. And he's just a regular grunt. He's just a regular grunt.
He's hitting you with the AMC movie intro. Just
bro, stop that shit, bro. Stop.
Oh man. Currently, surprisingly, the user score is 8.0 on the game right now.
Great game.
I'm shocked because Dying Light. Oh wait, hold on, my bad. This is Dying Light 1. Oh no. The 75 Metacritic. Look at this.
4.9. That's I guarantee majority of it is because of the story pacing, because it just feels so weird. Like,
but that's why we're here, right?
About the Lawan relationship, it feels like they're forcing me to be like, okay, Lawan is definitely Mia, but like they just don't want to give it to you. Literally, not at all. Like I literally got confirmation about,
but you still want it to be her so that we can just be done with the shit.
Yeah, bro. Like the entire time, I'm like, bro, stop, fuck.
He said, I gave this game 5 hours of my time and turned it off because I was so bored. I can't read this, and I'm not going to translate it because, reasons. A lot of these are different language. Don't believe the hype created by Techland. It's all fake, and fake is a great sales success they described. The truth is games are very unhappy.
Gamers
are very unhappy about Dying Light 2.
I feel like I'm having a stroke. Graphics has been heavily downgraded from the E3 version of 2019. No, it hasn't. The game has hundreds of stupid bugs. So did the first one. Animations are a joke.
I haven't found any bugs.
I had some really bad screen tearing the other day where like sections of the screen were just a black square. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
James, you had a literal zombie torso follow you around. That is a bug.
Oh, yeah. Those were hilarious. It was literally walking after Tad and me. It was amazing.
Animations are a joke. I don't believe that at all. I think the animations are fine. It is boring and mediocre in everything. The parkour and the gameplay
in certain cutscenes. Yes.
Parkour has definitely been upgraded.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Like the parkour is fantastic. I think the melee combat feels great in this game, whereas in the first one it felt very like press, and that was it. Having the ability to vault over people and drop kick other people, like that ability was like the first thing you learn. I thought that was so dope.
To be fair, going off of that, I have not used that in like 15 hours.
No, it's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, even using melee weapons, I have no reason to use that skill anymore. Well, and I'm actually sad about it.
Well, when we played Dying Light 1, like you already knew, like as soon as I got my bow, I was just stealth killing everything. Like there was no need for me to get into melee combat. I was always on the bow. And that's how it's going to be in this game too. That's just how I play zombie games. Like I play it as if though I am there, and I'm going to play it sneaky, and I'm going to take no risks, and I'm going to, parkour my life away, to stay safe. And I feel like that's fine. And even the bows feel pretty good in the game, though. They have the same shitty aiming system that they had in the first game. That I don't like. Can't be saved manually, and saves corrupt frequently. Have you guys had any save corruptions?
There was a thing about that I read. Essentially, they've put something into the game that if you're utilizing their anti-cheat software, basically, that they put in the game, if you're using some glitches for like duplicating items and stuff, it'll automatically corrupt.
Oh, so like the game is doing its job. Okay, I was just making sure.
It's forcing you to play the game as intended.
So I'm just making sure.
Going, as far as the save manually, yeah, you can.
Just leave the
game. It automatically saves.
Yeah. No, I know.
Manual save.
Like if you see it's if you see the saving symbol and there's a bunch of healing pots everywhere, that's everyone's cue to do a manual save so they can reload it after they die to the boss. This game doesn't let you do that. And like people are angry about that, but like, come on. It's a survival game. Go at it.
Yeah. It also says characters are flat and dull, and I don't think the characters are flat and dull. I think the story is flat and dull, which is a complete difference.
If they were used in a different way, the characters would definitely be more dynamic.
Wow. Bad game, boring quest, de novo cancer inside. What? Crappy and buggy to the fullest. Fake commercials, success from dismal techland. But Dying Light 1 was a critical success, so I don't understand.
Yeah. Like people that are saying this, like, are they? Why are they not giving examples? Like, I can't trust any of this without. Like, it's a solid game. I've enjoyed all of it. Like, the story is a little wonky. You don't know which way you want to go with it. Am I going to side with this? But that's where the replay value comes in,
Like some of these fucking questions, like, hey, yo, who do I give this shit to? You're like, damn, bro. Hold on. Like, and that's not even taking into account that you get different upgrades depending on who you give to what. But I'm like, I don't even care about what shit I get from what. I'm like, yo, who of these characters do I like more? Who do I feel like deserves it?
Like, this is just so out of, like, you misled us this time about the bad quality of this game, but next time we will remember and not buy your games in the future. Gamers will never forget, and you misled us twice by adding that massive junk called de novo. Now I need to find out what de novo is.
I'm confused. I don't know. Did he?
Oh,
anti-cheat?
The anti-cheat.
Yep.
So they're complaining that there's anti-cheat in the game.
Yep.
They don't. They want to hack their game. That's the complaint. That's the third one.
Because it also it prevents like PC players, even though this is a PC port. I think is also. I don't know if they did a whole. I haven't checked it out on PC. I only have it on PlayStation. But I believe it's a port, which. I mean, it's going to block you from doing things. You can't do things like, make mods, add new stories and stuff like that, add new items, and that's what some people are angry about. So
this game's a mess of gameplay, incorrect in my opinion. Glitches, I haven't had any issues. Bugs, other than funny things, I haven't had a problem. Broken saves because you cheated, death loops because you cheated, and other garbage. They totally ruined the very good Dying Light 1.
Any death loops I got in, it was because I did something fucking stupid. And I haven't even really had any fucking death loops. It was, I got fucking comboed by 2 zombies. And I was like, well.
No, I think by death loop, they mean like they've died in some way, respawned into it, and kept dying, right?
And there's no way for you to do that because you get spawned
at a previous location.
The closest
you can be like, all right, you get your hand in, handed to you on this boss. Go do something else, level up. Find a better weapon. Stop trying to bang your head against the same wall.
How bad it looks like. It seems you're
anti-piracy. So people are mad that the game has something in it that you can't pirate the game. All right, cool, bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think this person named Jeez Dervy, right? That talks like this. How bad it looks like. It seems you're playing a game from 2015 with bad textures and ugly environments. Despite that, it's very demanding. My RTX 3080 is hardly capable to make it run 4K all maxed out. Because you don't play games 4K all maxed out. It's demanding for all systems on 4K all maxed out.
3080 is not going to be able to run most games on 4K all maxed out and still get 60 frames.
The anti-cheat can bog down performance, but the thing is that when you're on a console or on a PC and you're playing with anti-cheat, like I have plenty of games that I play that have anti-cheat and have no issues, including Battlefield 2042, which is a bigger game than this is, and I have no issues. It doesn't take up much running in the background. A lot of people are experiencing the issues because they're trying to do dupes and stuff like that and are getting their saves corrupted because the anti-piracy is stopping them from cheating the game. Like that's the thing, is that having an anti-cheat in there literally makes it so that the people that what was the game? It was Dead Island. Dead Island came out, right? This was many moons ago, and I was playing a game with some friends, and this dude jumped into our game because I didn't realize that I had to turn on private sessions. He jumped in our game, duped a bunch of diamonds, and left them on the ground. So my friend picked them all up and then bought everything he needed in the game. And then I was like, dude, this sucks. Now it's no longer fun, because now we're playing together and you have everything, and I don't want to do that. Anti-cheats and stuff like that to make everybody have an level playing experience is great in my opinion. However, I do understand, because it is a single player game with the option of multiplayer and co-op, there's no PvP in the game, that wanting to cheat is something that people want to do. And that's fine. I get it. I am a very high horse gamer. I complain about people wanting to do this all the time because why would you buy a game to cheat and then complain about not being able to cheat? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. If you are an actual gamer and still care about this art form, don't buy this game. Don't support games that are hyped to the moon and backed by developers. I mean, that's their job, though.
I mean, it's not hyped by the developers.
I hyped it up for myself because I was excited.
Yeah. I like you bet.
The hype trains, it's not from the developers. It's not from producers.
It's the players and the gamers.
It is literally the gamers. You get a ton of people together that absolutely love this franchise, and the next one's coming out. It's like if they ever release
Dead Island 2.
No, Baldur's Gate fucking 3, because that game got pushed back yet another year. It's like Star Citizen all over again. I'm pissed.
No, what is that? It's fucking Valve game.
Oh, Half-Life?
If they ever Half-Life 3 ever releases.
No, man.
It's breaking.
It's going to have the lowest thing on Metacritic because everyone has high hopes for it, because
every Star Wars movie. Let's be real.
It's like if you go into a movie theater to watch a movie that you are hyped about because you were so excited about its release coming out, and then
people
they just make they make a decent movie, but they don't do an amazing job of it, you are let down.
And the thing here is that and to double down on what James is saying, is that we get hyped for these things, and Gotham is correct. The devs were very transparent about what they were doing. They made sure we knew, hey, there's problems. We're still working on this. We don't think it's going to be ready. It is what it is, but we got excited for it. I was excited for it. Back for Blood. Look at my hype levels when Back for Blood was announced, and I'm still super hyped. We don't play it that much, but I love that fucking game. Despite whatever problems people have with the difficulty, I think it's great.
I got you. If you have an issue with Dying Light, because people still do have an issue, there's not as many guns and they're consumables now. Just go play Back for Blood because that's where your guns are.
Yeah, exactly. Because you only use guns in that game, and there's so many of them.
Use melees, just bro.
Like I think that Dying Light 2 served and does serve its purpose in my life as a zombie parkour game that has story about a world that I care about. Although a lot of the things that I feared in the game are lessened, at least for now, because we don't know going forward how much crazier it's going to get, if at all.
I know some shit's going to pop because we have too much about going on with Waltz and you, and it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Half-Life 3 lives the heretical. It's heretical to say otherwise. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to move on to this next game that highly anticipated. We had no fucking clue it came out on Friday. And I have to wait. I'm probably just going to pick it up this week. Finally, I got my race wheel right out there, ready to get set up. You know what actually I'm going to do? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually, because I have a 16-foot long HDMI cable, I'm going to plug it into this TV. Plug it into this TV here.
You already know.
With the lazy boy right there. Oh, it's going to be fucking fantastic, and I can't wait. All right, we're going to go in on this video now. This is the opening movie for the game.
Oh, all right, bet.
I'm so fucking excited, dude. You have no clue. I want to get through these fucking trial races and then get things popping. It's going to be great.
Strict gold.
Bro, you already know. And based off of the reviews, wait till we go to the Metacritic. Y'all about to be fucking hype. Snack time. Twisted Metal confirmed. There's actually a movie coming out, supposedly. And I forgot what idiot wants to be in it, but I have to double check.
I thought it was a TV show.
It might be. It's one or the other, but you have to be an idiot to want to be in Twisted Metal, the show or movie, to be honest. That's career ending right there. The best Twisted Metal game was Twisted Metal 2. People will fight and say, well, Twisted Metal Black, and I'll say, that means you're a young child. Because when Twisted Metal 2 came out, it was on the PS2. I was a 9th grader in high school. And that was a jam when you had enough people over. I can dream, can't I? No. Because any Twisted Metal game that comes out is going to be bad.
Super fun.
Yep.
What was it? Sega CD?
Twisted Metal is PlayStation.
The cat got me, bro.
Get you with the claws, bro.
Well, my shirt. You know, she's like, all right, you can hold me for a second. All right, get the fuck off me.
They went into the factory. Look at this.
Oh man, I know this is completely off subject. However, do you know how Tesla is planning on ramping up their manufacturing process?
Yep.
They have these huge
Ooh.
wow.
Ooh.
That was good transition. That was nice. I like that.
Oh yeah, threw me off. So they have these like die-cast machines that they're literally the bottom of the Teslas are going to be 3 pieces. The entire underbody. Insane.
Yeah, bro, that man's SR just went down. He would do the grass like that.
That's me, Meg.
That's a penalty. I'm so glad penalties exist for James ass, bro.
That is a whole minute penalty, bro. You ain't getting a couple seconds. That is a minute.
James, your car is not a missile, sir.
I don't do that.
I beg that me and Corey both beg to differ, bro.
I don't do the missile corners.
God damn.
Yo, that just reminded me of Metal Gear. No God. That water.
Number 2 is gold standard. Put that on my tombstone. I got you, bro. Just put in your will that I'm allowed to engrave your tombstone. I got you covered. You have to put in your will Ninja Cat Daddy 12 though. Or I'm not doing it. Your will and final testament.
I'm trying to get these rally races going, y'all.
Wow. Once we figure out custom races, let's go.
That shit is gonna be wild. You already know. And the hyper concept cars? Oh yeah, I'm excited.
They have a Model S Tesla in the game.
Mm-hmm. They get it?
Yeah. That's why it's not in Horizon 4 or Horizon 5.
I heard Tesla was refusing to give permissions to any
It was in the last game.
creator.
It was in GT Sport, I believe.
And one of the free X-Packs?
No, I think it was one of the extra cars.
Yeah, because I know Forza was trying to get it, and they were refusing them.
That's because they don't want to see no anime waifus on the model of Teslas, bro.
I mean, but it's Elon. He wants to see those.
He really do, but everybody else doesn't.
Google it, Corey. See if it's in Gran Turismo Sport. I'm pretty sure it was. Tesla Model S. Just Google Tesla Gran Turismo.
Yep, it came out in the update on December 5th, 2018. It was in 1.13.
Yep.
You can currently still buy it for 99 cents.
I remember some of the most dumb shit, bro. It's wild when driving in the grass gives you a penalty. Like, you put me here. Why am I penalized?
Oh, God,
I hope they
reworked the leap.
I hope they reworked that system, bro. When you start watching Jimmy again.
I'll bet. To be fair, I do need to rewatch them because I've been watching Super GT more. So, like, if I want something on in the background, I'm probably going to put on the Super GT video.
They had trucks in the previous game, too, for off-road.
Yeah, I never used them, though.
They're not nearly as fun as running like a rally car. All right, so hype levels, boys. Where y'all at?
I mean, you know, I can't say that it's high, but because y'all know GT is not my racing game of choice. But I know I'll cop. I'll wait for it to get a little bit cheaper.
Okay. James?
Same. I'm on the same.
Okay. I'm gonna get it because I fucking love Gran Turismo. And I feel like when I say hype level, it all boils down to this. You ready?
Scoffs and Raptor. What?
There's two problems that I have with this Metacritic score. It's again 88 from critics, 6.8 from users, which
that's pretty decent.
6.8 better than average, and it's a competitive racing game. So I want to look in and see what the problem was. Required online connection to play. Okay.
Yep. I mean, that's every game now. Let's be real.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you bought a competitive racing game.
Sorry, Chief. I'm sorry you bought a game, period, in current times, because even if it's solo and doesn't have multiplayer, period, you got to be online.
Bruh, that's like buying Call of Duty for the campaign and being mad you paid $60 for 8 hours.
Yeah. It's the same issue that I was talking about this last week. Like 90% of the game is locked down if you don't have an internet connection, and I think that's unacceptable.
But that's a lot of games, though. That's a lot of games like that. Like ever since Microsoft made that,
if you don't have an internet connection, the only
custom
thing you
and
can
couch
do
co-op
is custom.
Yeah, but I mean, what happens after you beat whatever licensing is? Most of the races are custom races, except this way you do it with your friends or couch co-op. I get it. 90% of the games
if you have an internet connection, you can go and play against nothing but computers for the rest of your fucking life. But you can't do it if you don't have an internet connection? That's BS.
What I'm saying is that 9 out of 10 games as of 2018, as of when the Xbox One came out, have been online only. Because
Microsoft they can push those hot fixes to you, bro.
Because Microsoft literally said the future is always online gaming. That is when that happened. To expect to get a competitive game that is not online always is weird now.
I still have a big issue with the industry moving in that direction.
I mean,
it's not customer friendly. It's completely. It's not everyone has an internet connection.
Sure.
So that's the great thing about having a console is you can go out, buy a disc from a store, put it in, and play your game.
But you won't be able to do that soon, though. They're getting rid of those.
I mean, GameStop's still around. They eventually will go the way of Blockbuster, and I understand that. But at the same time, that's the draw for most people to buy a console, is that they can go to a GameStop, buy the game, beat it, and then take it back.
But if you don't have internet, right, and you buy a video game and it has a day one patch, the game doesn't launch on your console. So that already happens. That's even offline games. Yeah. It is legit. Didn't you say that the other day? I couldn't play the game. I had to wait for it to download the patch. When you were
Elden Ring on release date. Yeah. Downloaded the game, got it all installed, and then 5 o'clock rolled around and I had to do another download.
Yeah, imagine if you didn't have internet. You couldn't play the game. That has been a constant. I wouldn't have been
able to download the game either. So
it's weird because they lock DRM behind those patches. Yeah. Those release patches like that. You get your game from Amazon in the mail.
And once again, I mean, they shouldn't be doing that. That's one of those things. Yeah, I get it. They get to squeeze a little bit more time out of polish up until the day of release, and that's what that is purely there for.
Hell, on a good day, I have 150 ping.
Yeah. But I mean,
you'll be hard pressed to find a game. It's not a Switch game.
Still play 90% of the game offline.
I don't think it's 90% of the game. It's only part of the game because you lose all your seasons and stuff, which is a lot of the game.
No, the seasons is literally it's one race a week. It's one set of races every week.
You're talking about seasonal championships, though. I mean, that is a thing. If you are offline, you are stuck in that one season because I have done it. Yeah. That you're not getting a different season every week. If you played the last time you played online, it was summer. It is still summer until you go back online. Yep. So if you like racing in wintertime, you're not getting that.
every track on the map is open to you.
Well, because you can just drive on those roads.
But
you
once
can drive
on all the roads, you have all the tracks. You can run the entire gambit of the main storyline. You can do everything. The only thing you won't be able to do is play with friends and play your seasonal things when they change out every week.
Sure, but which game is
legit it?
Sure, but which game is the competitive multiplayer game?
They're just games.
No, Gran Turismo is an online competitive game.
It's how you play it.
But that's the thing.
Not competitive?
It can be, right?
Saying exactly.
It's not Gran Turismo competitive though. They have leagues and
that's what the
championship
other
for that.
Forza is for, though.
Right.
That's why we have motorsport.
And motorsport is always online.
So yeah, I agree. Us moving into a situation where we are required to always be online is shitty.
Yeah.
But it's still a thing. That's a whole nother argument of that's something that we as the consumer have to arguably like get together and take a stand against. That's a whole nother thing that we always circle back to that
we're not even on right now. And that's the thing is that whether or not we like it, whether or not we don't like it, it's there, right? We can't change it.
Yeah, it's a huge pain point.
Yeah,
until internet
always be a pain point.
Until internet is like required per home, like electricity, this should not be a thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, is that you're upset about it, and I get that you don't like that 90% of the game is locked out based off the internet, but you have internet.
Yeah,
so like being in a position of privilege like we are, where we always have internet in our homes and we always have access and we can always play the games, it's really easy to be in that mindset, but like we have it, right? So like I get that a person that does not have access to the internet, it sucks for them, and I agree, it does. I'm not saying it does not suck for that person that has no access or has internet limitations, because like around the world, like we get plans where we have infinite internet. Like some people do get throttled or whatever if they go through too much, but there are people that literally have gigabyte plans that turn off and they can download a game and then can't use the internet for like a month. Like there are reasons for this, but what I'm saying is not to argue your point. I'm saying that unfortunately that is where we are, and it sucks that we are there, but it's not going to change. Right, as a consumer, the only way you can right.
Is you can take a change by your dollars, not spending your dollars on games that are doing this thing.
You need a substantial amount of people to stop buying for that to happen. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, right? Like, because the same thing of saying like, well, they wouldn't have pay to win systems in a game if people stop buying stuff. Do you really think people are going to stop buying stuff? No, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately,
it's gambling addiction in video games. That's all it is. And until that's squashed by the government, it'll still remain.
People are just going to buy their game and play it. That's all it is. And the point of that is that game companies I wouldn't even say the game companies and devs, because I don't blame them much for these consumer unfriendly practices. It's typically the people that produce the game and release it and stuff like that, like the bigger names. However, like until, like you said, everybody in the world says no, it's going to continue, and that's not going to happen. It's unfortunate, but it's not. And you know what sucks is that as time goes on, it's just going to get worse. There's going to be worse practices because they find, like, the cable and internet companies find ways to squeeze developers and force them to do different practices for internet connections. Then they have to put those pressures on the consumer, which then affects, everybody at home. That's just how it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. Like, and that's going to be the biggest complaint for a lot of people in this Metacritic score, is that always online, right? A lot of these zeros are going to be that. It's funny that this person says the worst game. Wait, what? Which one?
Go back down. One of them was like absolutely horrible. There's no station wagons. Is disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Carless is straight garbage.
Oh man, that is great.
The driving is horrible, the graphics are god awful, and the microtransactions are just microtransactions.
I mean, Gran Turismo has always had microtransactions. Just, I mean,
in Gran Turismo Sport, there weren't. There were very few.
You can buy cars. That's a microtransaction.
But it was only a couple of them, though. I thought there weren't a whole lot.
There's a lot. They just rotate them out a lot.
I didn't notice that there were that many. I never had to buy anything, and they were like 99 cents.
That's the thing, right? Because like Forza does the same thing. Everybody will always sell a car pack, and there's in-game currency, but I don't really see a reason to buy it on Gran Turismo. But it just might be a thing for people, man.
Hold on. Turismo 7 microtransactions. I'm just curious because I have no idea. You can't buy individual vehicles, and GT Sport cars can be bought on their own for prices that max out only at $499. By comparison, GT7 only lets players buy an in-game currency that can be traded for cars as such, like you said. For instance, if you wanted to buy a car in 7 that costs 3 million credits, you'd have to drop roughly $40 in game by purchasing $2 million credit packs that retail for 20.
They have multiple car outlets. Because like I remember when we were watching the trailer or the gameplay for it, there's like 3 different options where you can buy cars. Like there's the market, there's the auction house, and then the like antique quote unquote auction house. So like maybe that's why you need so much money.
No, they're saying that you don't need to buy you don't need the credits to buy. All cars are available in game. It just takes time.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's because they're saying it's a grind, and for me, Gran Turismo has always been a grind because
that's what it's about.
Yeah, like you got to get the SR up, and you're getting money while you get your SR up. Yeah. So like maybe people are just trying to circumvent that, and that's why they have the currency packs. I mean, it would make sense that if that's like the main reason to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be those people that I want to drive this specific car.
Yeah, right.
And it's at the top of the line, and I love this car. I don't want to drive anything else.
And I want it right now.
Put down the money.
I want my RX-7, and I want it now.
Yeah. What's crazy though is that in Gran Turismo Sport, while you could buy individual cars, and I do remember them between 99 cents and $3, but there, from my recollection, and who knows, there weren't so many cars that it was like you could spend hundreds of dollars, right? Like if you bought the Gran Turismo Sport, whatever the digital deluxe or the who's it what's it came with all like the majority of all those cars. Yeah. Plus you got millions of dollars to start the game to buy then whatever car, and that was all kind of bundled in the price that I paid.
Because like I can only really talk about Forza because that's what I know, and Forza is a similar thing. They were in 4 like 7 total car packs that came out over the life of the game,
which was expensive altogether. Yeah,
right. But like you said, when you bought the deluxe when it first came out, you got the first 2 car packs and the James Bond pack, which was like one of the really first ones that you actually had to pay for. And then they had 3 car packs that were completely free, no matter what editions you had of the game.
Well, so I bought the Ultimate, so I got everything. So
right, like I said, I bought the deluxe pass later, and like I got most of the card packs, and then there was only really 4 card packs left that I didn't buy, but it didn't really. Those card packs are usually like cars that they got the licensing to, and then like somebody wants them, but they don't really matter to most people because let's be real, like everybody that's like beginner gearhead, like you're going for the cars, you're going for R34 Skyline, and that's guaranteed to be based in the game. You cannot sell that piecemeal because if you are a car game and you don't have an R34 Skyline in your game, people aren't buying it. Like, let's be real.
So the crazy thing is that the car packs, I pulled it up real quick. One of the car packs that came out later on that wasn't free for deluxe users was the fucking high performance car pack, which was like $8 when it released. So it's not that bad, right? But here's the problem. You can't get those cars in the game without purchasing the pack.
There's minimal cars that you're like, okay, it doesn't matter because I have something that outdoes it anyway.
Right.
But in game for free.
Right, but but that's paywall. I don't like paywalls, right? As opposed to like, okay, yeah, you can pick up this car early. Say I'm a competitor and I'm going to do a tournament and I want to practice with this particular car before this tournament starts. I could then put the $20 forward or $40 or whatever and get the car that I want now so that I could practice with it. Or me, the non-tournament goer, wants to play the game, will just grind, overnight races or whatever, and then buy that seems fine, in my opinion. It's not necessarily pay to win, it's pay for convenience. And like, are they microtransactions? I don't think they're microtransactions, because a microtransaction would indicate that you can only get that piece of thing off of the store, and you have to purchase them to get your loot box or get your car or get your thing. So microtransactions would indicate like you can buy a skin or you can buy
I think that's
titles or whatever.
Because for me, my definition of microtransaction is more broad, and that would, for me, it would include the purchase of currency. Like, yeah, you can get it in game, but like if I can buy a set pack, because like that's what it was for a bunch of games that we played that I can remember, and if I can buy it with real world money, to me that's a microtransaction.
And I can see that.
Yeah, it leans more towards currency because that's what most people are buying. Is currency outside of packs, especially like gacha games. You're buying currency, and that's a microtransaction because you're buying the currency to buy the pack that you want.
No, I totally get that. I just think that when I think microtransactions, I think of small stuff like a skin, a recolor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're dropping $2, you can get 1,500 coins.
Right, but we're talking $40. That's not mini. That's not micro. That's not small amount.
That's still many. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, to me, it's more significant.
Micro transaction, yeah.
Well, if you're a whale, you know what I mean. But I'm not a whale. So.
I mean, it's like, it's like this game you want to talk about, Lost Ark. It's full of microtransactions.
We'll get to that.
Like.
But that's what I mean by micro. $2 there, $3 there, $5 there, $10 there. But then if you draw
$40 out of your pocket,
right? But micro meaning small. Well, I mean
that's what the car packs are, because it's only one car pack at a time. It's usually $8 or $5, and then at the end of the day, you've spent the $40 to get all the packs because you bought them all as they came out. They just broke it up very well.
Yep. That's Forza. Like they've got like 20 packs, and each of them have like 12 cars or something like that, and they're all like $6. But
I get that. I agree.
Complete package, you get it all.
I was just thinking about like grandiose versus micro. Micro to me is like small stuff where. Like this, they're saying like a high-end car is $40. To me, that's a fucking expansion pack in a video game. That ain't micro.
It is. And I feel like there's some overestimation right there.
Right.
But like,
no, he was doing the math in the article.
I mean, but I also think that that's because they're using an example from one of the auction houses and not the regular market.
No,
because you already know those are put up for more, and they're kind of going off of real world pricing too, aren't they?
No. So in Gran Turismo 7, for 100,000 credits, it's $2.50.
Yeah.
Okay. For 2 million credits, it's $20.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the cars are based off of almost or close to real world market costs.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Something similar like that. Because when we were looking at it, a lot of those prices seemed like real world prices.
Oh, gotcha. Well, if that's the case, that's fine, right? But like, I'm just saying, like $40 for 4 million credits to purchase one car is not micro. This is not fucking micro.
Because I'm gonna just grind that $4
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. I'll just earn it. Fuck that. No, I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not racing in anything that requires that, unless for some reason we're all like, let's do hypercars. We all need Teslas. I'm like, all right, well, I'll see y'all in 5 weeks when I grind that shit out.
Like that's something that we have established. Like, yo, this is the car. Other than that, no, we're using what's in the garage. Fuck that.
And in that case, we could just go do races together to make money, which would be even more fun.
I'm not doing all that. Nah, dude.
Driving is horrible in a Gran Turismo game. Does that just mean they don't understand how to drive cars? Is that what that means?
They didn't do the license check, bro. They didn't get straight.
They using a controller.
Hey, we already talked about controllers being perfectly fine for racing games. Let's not go there. But you know what? To be fair, I'm gonna try Gran Turismo 7 with the haptic controller because it's gonna be dope as fuck. Controlling the wheels and stuff with the haptics gonna be so good.
The one thing that I really loved about Gran Turismo, over like Forza, is you have a wheel that has a 900 spin on it. It uses the full 900 instead of like Forza where you got 90 degrees.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? It's supposed to be 1-to-1. It's literally a racing sim, like as opposed to Forza. I love Forza Horizon 5 for picking up a controller, getting in a car, and just doing dumb shit. Exactly. But I enjoy Gran Turismo for getting to a car and actually running tracks. Like feeling like I'm running tracks. Like that is the best part. Like I could take my experience today on my race wheel, hop in a fucking car, get on that track and whip it on that track. That's how that game is made to be. Like it's meant to be a training simulator, and people have been known to go get their race. Jimmy Broadbent went out and got his racing licenses and joined Mercedes and other people for actual on-track racing outside of his little shack that he raced in. Like it's insane, like how that translates.
I remember when he went to the BMW place, they have a version of Gran Turismo that they use for simulations.
That's where they train all of their drivers, is on an in-cockpit Gran Turismo simulator. Insane. They don't use a lot of the online other ones like the PC games. What was it? Assetto Corsa and.
Yeah,
like they don't use all this stuff. They use Gran Turismo because like that game is touted as like one of the best. Tell me please who you are punishing. Putin, yeah, he definitely can't play GT7. Soldiers who shoot people in the Super War, or people who bought PS5 and prepaid you for your game want to support what? Oh my god. Okay, they gave a 0 to then strike about the war in it's stupid. But look at all these 10s. Look at all these 9s and 10s. People are loving it, man. Some of the reviewers that I watched online, I haven't watched Broadbent or our other guy yet to see
Super GT.
Super GT, and see what their thoughts were yet. But I'm super hype. We're gonna move away from this. The next game, Lost Ark, which I've been enjoying quite a bit, I have to say. Been playing with the boys, Mike Palmer and Mike Peterson, and some of the other friends, and we've been having a blast. There's some shit that I haven't seen yet in this game, like transformative raids. Like you're walking and it's like sunny, and then suddenly the whole fucking arena changes to like floating in the clouds and shit.
Oh, like Sifu?
Bro, it's nuts. Yeah, like that club scene? Yes.
Just some game to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did that on accident.
Think of this as where the future's being born.
That looked pretty dope.
I've been waiting for this. Now for a proper battle to the death.
All right. So I have on record, let's see, how much time have I put in this? Let's see. I have 115 hours in Lost Ark so far. 115 hours.
Let me see.
Okay.
What am I looking like?
I am only tier 2. I'm the very beginning of tier 2 in the game. There are currently 3 tiers. Tiers are like in Diablo, James, you know, once you when you start doing what are the runs called when you do portal runs? You know what I'm talking about? and you can get to like different levels. Yeah, so different torment levels, right? So let's say the torment levels were broken up, right? Let's say you were max level 50 in the game and your gear score was only like let's say 70, right? That's tier 1, for example. Say you could only do the first 20 torment levels, right? Then you hit tier 2, which is your next gear score. You can do the next 20 levels and so on and so forth, right? So right now I'm tier 2. My gear score is 460. Max gear score is 1400 soon because they're releasing the first actual raid in the game. Yeah, well, it's just
the first in a raid. Specify.
Yeah. So background, game came out in 2018 in Russia and South Korea, and I believe it's also in China, but I don't think so. It might be in China as well. It's an ARPG, just like Diablo, kind of like Divinity and those games, except Divinity is more D&D based, and then Diablo is more action dungeon based, right? This is kind of in between, which also has elements of Monster Hunter world in it, and it has other things in it. Why it has Monster Hunter World in it, I have no idea, but it's actually pretty fucking fun when you want to go kill raid bosses. I've been enjoying it. I think that it's one of those games that I pick up and put down really easily, like how Diablo 3 was. Like, I'm able to hop in for an hour, run a couple chaos dungeons, which are essentially like you go in by yourself or with 3 other people, and it's like a dungeon instance. There's like 3 to 4 levels. There could be like secret portals, and you essentially run around and kill a bunch of mobs. It's crazy because you're just flooded with enemies and just big numbers on the screen, and you're blowing shit up with like crazy effects and stuff. Like, so many so that I had to turn off other people's effects because you start losing your mouse cursor and so you have to like be careful.
Oh, like Final Fantasy, but
pretty much, yeah, exactly like a Final Fantasy 14 raid, except like instead of it being a 14 raid, you're in Dalriada, James, because they have these gigantic fucking raids that can include about 25 people, and it's like a whole dungeon with all these people going in to fight these bosses. I have played 6 alts already. All of them are just on the cusp of tier 2. One of them is tier 2, my current main, because the game requires a lot of grinding, and you can grind resources that are account shareable, and then you can funnel those resources into your main to then level their gear up. It is, in a way, has some pay to win, pay for convenience features, which we were talking about earlier, meaning that their cash shop, you can buy additional resources and stuff like that in using the game to increase your levels or attempt to. It's funny because when you go to level something up, James, and I'm directing this to you because like I know we haven't had a lot of time to talk about it, is that let's say you go to level a piece of gear. What's the thing that's kind of like that, I guess? What were we playing? Oh, and shit, I can't even think about it. Anyway, so like when you first start leveling your gear, you have 100% chance for it to upgrade to the next level, and then eventually as you start leveling up, it starts to diminish. Right now I'm at the point where my gear is at 90% chance, and it's got 10% chance to fail. And if it fails, then I lose a ton of resources and have to go farm more.
That's that good old Black Desert Online right there.
Kind of, yeah. It's got elements of Black Desert in it as well, but only because of the upgrade, pay to win, pay to free to play, models, right? PSO has the same thing. So my experience has been pretty good because I haven't had to put any money in it. I've put 0 of my own money into the game and have gotten to tier 2 and have had a blast playing it. Could I throw money at it? Yes. However, I have learned that because the game is new to NA, that if I just run around and farm mats for a couple of hours and put them on the auction house, I can make a few thousand gold easy in the game. And a few thousand gold is substantial because the currency works like this. You can pay, let's say the flat line is $100. So you pay $100, you get 5,400 crystals. Right, those crystals can then get converted down into gold based off of the in-game money market. like it has a currency market. So based on people buying and selling, your crystals are worth more or less based off of how things are buying and selling.
Yikes.
However, they have been worth more. So say you put 200 crystals in for currency exchange, you're getting like 300 gold back. So you're essentially making a profit off of your cash, right? Technically. So I've been like herbing, cutting down trees, mining, and hunting, because you can hunt in the game too. And put those things up for gold, and people will purchase them because you need them for upgrades for your houses and stuff like that. And I've made a killing. I'm at like 9,000 to 10,000 gold just farming stuff. Then you can take that gold and go to the auction house and buy upgrade items and materials and stuff that you want in the intro. So I watched this really cool guide where this dude was like, yeah, man, like I've gotten my characters all up to tier 4 or tier 3, the top of tier 3, literally just playing the game, and then anything that's not buying on account, selling it on the market board, auction house, and then making that money, and then just doing daily farming. And then he's like, I was able to buy all my upgrade materials and everything without having to worry about spending any money. And he's not even talking about buying stuff off the auction house. He's talking about like just doing his dailies, upgrading with his buying on account stuff, and selling off everything else. Like, it's really smart, and that's what I've been doing to play the game, so I don't have to pay money. It's getting really good reviews. It's a very positive experience game right now for people. Streamers are whaling really hard, which actually drives down the market. Like, people whaling actually makes things cheaper for everybody else, which is really good. So I highly recommend this game, surprisingly enough. And I am not a free-to-play gamer. I don't like Warframe, really. Even though I played it because the guys were playing it. I didn't like Black Desert Online. I think the game's trash. I don't play cell phone games. I don't play gacha games. But this has scratched the ARPG itch so hard. Because we tried Divinity. It didn't really work out very well for us, right? What is it? Baldur's Gate 3 got pushed back another year, so we're not playing that. We're not playing Diablo 3 because, like, though we've had fun playing it, it's literally the same game that it's been for the last 7 years. We're not getting Diablo 4, and if we do, it's not going to be anytime soon. So this is definitely scratched that, like, I want to dungeon dive, I want to murder some stuff. And it actually has, I'm not saying a good story, but it actually has a very prolific, like, wide range and reaching story. So every tier gives you a different chapter of the game, and I'm only in chapter 2 of the game. The first chapter of the game took me, 60 hours to beat. So going beyond that, it's like I have tons and tons of gameplay to do. Unless, like, I want to cheat, pay money, and then, like, jump to tier 3 and then lose out on everything, which is kind of fucking dumb. But yeah, I know you guys don't really have much input for this one. These guys haven't really played it, but
I have 3 hours in the game, is what it says.
So what do you think about your first 3 anyway?
It's, for me, it's of course a readjustment, because I did hop in with y'all on Diablo, but I really played solo, so I didn't really get the full effect. I think there's a lot going on in the game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like, for me, it's really weird that cosmetics affect your stat. That is, for me, unheard of. Like, imagine your drip game in 14 affects your stat. I don't think that'd go over too well, at least initially, right? And then the card system is really different, and I haven't even played too much with it. I think my main gripe isn't even really necessarily about the game. It was the free stuff that they were giving out, the drops, but how they handled the drops, because it ended up being, in my
Kinda
opinion,
weird.
really shitty. Because we had like 6 different drops, but it ended up, as time progressed and as we got through to the window, because it was like February, like from launch day to March 1st or something like that was the window, and we had the Fox drop, the Sophia drop, the hoverboard mount, the bird pet, and 2 other things. But like as time went on, like we had multiple people being able to do the drops, but then they stopped letting certain people do certain drops. So then it became, hey, you have to watch the
This particular
Amazon dude,
person. Yeah.
specifically the Amazon guy, and specifically Lost Ark. So if you wanted the bird drop, I got to 72% of the bird drop, and then they were like, well, you have to watch specifically Lost Ark or Amazon Tom. And they never streamed.
Yeah.
They only streamed one time that I saw. I followed both accounts. They only streamed one time the entire time during the campaign, and it was while I was doing something. So that was 4 at the time drops that were not available to me. So I only got 2 of 6 drops because they were like, "Hey, everybody will have certain things based on their team, the overall stream teams." And then they were like, "You know what? Actually, we're going to change it. We're going to make it specifically certain people." And it was just really weird how that was handled.
And some of the streamers complained about that too. That like,
Asmon probably.
Well, it's not necessarily that he complained, but
I feel like he would be one of them because he was one of those people that were affected by it.
Well, see, here's the thing: is that like some streamers did have drops listed, right? Like you remember, I told you, "Hey man, go check out Asmon if you want to get this thing. Check out this person if you want this one." Yada yada. And we were kind of like going back and forth on who you should watch to get whatever drop was available.
Things, because he had 2 drops. He had he had the bird drop and he had the fox drop.
He also got the skateboard later.
Yeah, and then he only had 1 drop. Then he only had the other drop.
Right.
And they didn't. There was no notice. It was, hey, you have to keep looking at what the list of the drops were, because like there was one guy, he had 1 drop and he didn't know that they had switched him to the hoverboard drop. So he still had listed, hey, you're going to get Safia, but he wasn't eligible. He wasn't on the list of partner channels anymore. He was now on the list of partner channels for the hoverboard drop, which was the easiest of the drops to get because so many people had it. But like the cooler shit, they were like, no, you can't have it no more.
And Asmon complained. He was like, he said, for me, it's great to have the drops, especially if you get, because like, you know, it was like based off of tier. Right? He was like, especially for me, because like, I don't know if you saw Asmon's fucking viewership for a while, but he was sitting at like nearly 1 million viewers, which is unheard of for him.
Another thing, because you had to watch 4 hours of the streams. Like that's not how Twitch normally does drops. So that's why you're like, yo, I gotta sit here.
Yeah, because when I had drops on my channel for Rainbow Six Siege, it was
all I had to do
hours.
was I had to click it to say that I wanted them, and then we're like, all right, here you go. I didn't even have to watch you for 2 hours.
Oh,
I literally had to say, boom, and it was like, all right, here you go. Here's your drops.
Because I remember people talking about like how long they had to sit in the channel to wait for them. Because like sometimes like even if drops are enabled, like you can I can watch somebody's entire stream and it never pops off. That was the first time I ever saw a progress bar for drops.
Well, and like my thing with it too was like my progress bar kept resetting. So like there was one, I watched one dude stream for 8 hours, but I was stuck at 72%, partially because it reset and partially because he was no longer eligible to do any of the drops.
I know exactly who you're talking about because that happened to me too. And one other streamer had drops. Her title was drops available. She did not have drops available like at all. Because it was literally just specific people that were in this program. So no, I agree with you on that 100%. It was kind of wonky. And what I was saying about Asmon is he was like, yo, like for me, drops are amazing because like I'm already performing and it's making me perform even better because I have access to them. It's like what sucks is that I have drops and like the other like 4,000 streamers do not. So literally they're not getting any visibility because of it. So like while it kind of funnels people into specific channels, so like the people that are doing well are doing better, it does kind of fuck up everybody else that's trying to get noticed.
I think that's more than a kind of, because it's literally only popular streamers were eligible to get the best drops, right? The best tiers, right? And then if you were random Joe by the wayside, like you could have, like, you personally, you have a very good core following, right? Your core following will always show up for your streams. They wouldn't have shown up for a Lost Ark stream because you're not going to get drops.
Exactly.
And I want drops.
But that's the thing too. Like, so it's either you do it that way, the way that they did it, right? And to be fair, Lost Ark's viewership was stellar as fuck because of Asmon, Richie, and the others, right?
Yeah, like, Towley, Extra Life, all of them were up there.
So doing drops in that way, I'll be honest with you, helps Lost Ark more than hurts them. However, the little guy kind of gets fucked, and it's hard to kind of keep up with who has what.
Right.
To if you want to get those things from those streamers.
Which is the bad part, is the little guys are going to be the ones that consistently play this game, that keep this game alive.
Yeah, because once they all fall off, who's going to be there?
Bro, literally, as soon as Elden Ring, everybody hopped on that shit.
Yeah. Well, Rich hasn't. He's still fucking 100% in on Lost Ark and Asmon.
They were gone.
Asmon still plays Lost Ark. He plays them both like in weird.
He's doing half streams.
Yeah, but that's not his core game, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The people that keep viewership of Lost Ark alive are going to be the little guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, always.
But like at this point, if I was a little guy, I'd be like, man, fuck this game. I'm moving to the next game. Like, yes, I would still play it, but I'm not streaming this game because I'm not going to get the viewership.
Right.
Like people have seen what they wanted to see already.
And that's the worst part about being a small streamer sometimes, is that is always the thing, right? So like when I was streaming Siege, for example, though it was a small stream and even smaller than I am now, the problem was always like, I'm going to stream this game because I'm playing this game. And it doesn't matter who watches it, doesn't matter what my viewership is. I'm enjoying this game. I'm going to stream it. It doesn't matter. And I had fun doing that. And most people will have that same mindset. But when you tell everybody like, hey, because you're not a 1%er, you're not going to have access to this thing. Like, that means my community doesn't have access to it.
Majority of the reason why people are even watching the game in the first place.
Give or take, yeah, I agree. I agree. Like it is crazy. It's kind of a shitty situation, but like it's the drop system for even Call of Duty, Rainbow Six,
and for all of them. Yeah,
it's exactly the same, and it can be shit. It really can. But putting a 4-hour timer, I did not expect that. I was like, bro,
4 hours was a long.
I gotta have this man's voice in my background for 4 hours, and then
because if I mute him, it doesn't count.
Right. But it did re-spark my interest in Twitch streams, to be honest. I've been watching more Twitch lately than I had been in the last 5 years. So
I completely ignored everybody that I had in the background. But like outside of that, gameplay's okay. It just hasn't caught me yet. But that's because there's so much out right now.
You also got to get to like the big dick skills, man.
And like right now, I have no drive to stay on the game. Like, I got on the game 4 days ago. I logged in for 10 minutes, did one dungeon, and was like, "Yeah, I don't want to play this game."
You got to message me, man. You got to message me so we can do some big dick maneuvers and shit. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next game. Okay, Lost Ark is a huge point of contention right now. 5.5 user score. I just want to look and see why. Story doesn't exist after 2 hours of playing.
To be fair, this is one cutscene that I've skipped majority of the one game that I've skipped majority of the starter cutscenes, and I never do that.
So it actually has decent story in the beginning, like finding out about like the betrayals and stuff. But that's the thing.
But I haven't gotten to the betrayals yet, so that's another thing.
But you'll never know where they are if you skip.
No. Remember, I read fast, so I read faster than them talking. So I'll just be like, man, fuck this shit. Nothing important is happening.
Like I said, right? The story is not great, but it's not bad. Like, it's better than Dying Light 2 story. Like, I actually have paid attention to this one as far as like main story goes, right? Like, it has a story, the story makes sense, and it does take you places, but it does get a little weird because like you go to like different islands and every island's got its own story that doesn't really like, you're really like, okay, I don't really care about this because it has nothing to do with my main story. Like, but you have to go to these islands because you want to get the materials, and like it's a lot. It says, story doesn't exist after 2 hours of playing. You pray to God you could skip every single stupid, boring cutscene, but you can't. After 5 hours, you want to cut yourself. Holy shit. The main thing in this game, which is combat mechanics, suck. They're awful. What? It's a point.
I had to remap, and I'm still like, oh shit, hold on.
No, they're mad. It's a point and click game. It's an ARPG, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
you can play with the controller though.
There is no single target. Yes, there is. But
you can tell people don't play the game; they just talk shit. I've been logging in queue 15 hours. Oh, must be for somebody from EU. EU servers are shit in this game. I've been logging in queue for 15 hours on Saturday morning at, I guess, 1500 or at 15 at this point. I spent more time in logging queue than I have in game. Yeah, that's something that they've been working on. Injuggable por culpa de las colas en los servidores no se puede ni seleccionar servidores tanto los llenos.
From what he said, I also had that issue where for some reason when I logged in the other time, none of the servers were active. Like they were just broken. So I had to switch data centers, close the game, reopen the game, switch data centers again, and then they were back.
And it wasn't maintenance?
No, it was just randomly. It's like, yeah, none of these servers exist currently. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Why obsessed with character modeling in the isometric view game? Because they have a photo mode.
I agree, bro. You know,
they have photo mode.
You're playing a Diablo game.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
But they have photo
Diablo,
mode.
but with BDO character creation.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right? Oh, you're talking about skins.
Yeah, like you're saying it's the photo mode. That's cool.
Yeah.
I get it, right? Because of the photo mode. But I mean, if they didn't have a photo mode, let's just say they didn't have a photo mode.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the character creation model would be the same.
Yeah, because it's a game.
But why? You can't see it. You can't see it well.
So here, the thing is, and I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you from my experience, right? Like your character is in every cutscene, and there are a lot of cutscenes.
True, but like
you're not random monk number 25, right?
My character's in this corner over here, like sneaking behind this pillar while these dudes are over there talking.
Right. You're like Diablo 3 didn't include your character in anything. You were a part of. It's a typical Blizzard thing where you are literally in the story following around other characters. Right. You're literally a cuck. So in this game, your character is main point story. So when you are running into a church in the cutscene, your character is running into the church and you can see your character as a full-size character. It's not an overhead view of a cutscene or anything like that. Like they designed it that way on purpose. Yeah. Like when you're fighting and stuff, yes, you are overhead, but you can zoom in. Like while you're fighting, if you want to be up and close, you can be up and close. You don't. I mean, it's fucking stupid, but really yeah. So, and then the other thing is, they have like lots of different sceneries in the game that are actually really, really nice. Like a lot of cool sceneries, and
that very first area when after you talk to the captain in the prologue, and they're like, "Hey, we're looking for this lost city shit." Looked fucking great.
Like a lot of the backgrounds and set pieces are better than most of the games I'm playing right now, other than the one we're going to talk about next. Like there are some scenes in that game that I'm like, yo, holy shit, this is free to play. There's no way that this is free to play, literally at all. Like this does not make any sense. That like I can do this in a game in 2022 and not pay a dime if I play the game smart. Like it doesn't make sense. So like I get it, but in some circumstances, like, oh, I'd be cool. Let me play around with the photo mode a little bit and see. I took a picture of my character and posted it in the channel because my character looked dope as fuck. Like with the fucking Akuma armbands and shit. Like he was looking tight as shit. I was like, oh my God. It was good. And then like when I'm playing, I don't see his face all the time, but like literally see all the effects on him while I'm playing the game is dope. And just a quick blurb about the skins. Yes, skins do give percentage increases to your main stat abilities for your class, but you can earn skins in game as well. So it's not like you have to buy them to get the stat increases. You literally get a skin piece just by doing the tutorial of the game. If you skip the tutorial, you don't get it. But you do get skins playing the game, and you can also.
Speaking of. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's this one was just funny. Was that you log into the game, you watch the opening cutscene, you get into the prologue, and then they immediately give you a new weapon that's better than the weapon that you have equipped that you never got to use. Yeah. So it's like, hey, this sword does 64 damage, and you haven't used it yet, but here's a sword that does 65 damage. Like,
I think it's kind of like, I think it's because what happens is like you're in that first area in the beginning where you get to try your classes out.
Bro, I didn't even do anything. It was like, talk to this dude, here's a new sword.
Yeah. No,
I haven't even seen a training dummy yet, dog. Like,
well, you did, but you might not have used it. In the very first area when you're picking your class, you can summon bosses and mobs to fight and shit. No,
I did that, and that was your 65 sword. They don't count. That's just practice. Those sets don't count, bro. I ain't even fought my first real enemy yet.
Right.
Here's a new sword, dog. I was like, okay.
Hey man, the upgrades are aplenty, you know what I mean?
Yeah, here you go, bro. I got you. Here's a solid.
All right, we've been going pretty long. Let's move on to this next game. We're gonna go to motherfucking Elden Ring because that is the game right now. Kami hasn't been playing it. Me and James have been slaying the shit out of this game. Kami's been like a bystander in the world of Elden Ring. Yeah.
You know that dude that sells you shit, but like he don't actually help. Yeah, that's me.
Khajiit.
Khajiit have wares if you have coin.
Easy 7 out of 10. Easy 7 out of 10 if I had to rate Elden Ring or Lost Ark. Oh yeah, dude. 52 hours? Oh yeah, nice. Dude, I'm on Avesta if you want to come on over. To be fair, I never watched this before the game came out. I knew nothing about Elden Ring until it came out.
I only ever saw the title splash card.
Yeah,
I've never seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh no, I lied. I've seen that specifically. That's it though.
Bruh, why is it okay? Why is it that every part of this game literally just wants to make you feel like you're gonna die falling off of something?
It's a Souls game, bro. Like I fully expect that.
Because if you don't know how to use your horse, you are gonna fall off of everything.
No, I just get off the fucking horse. Because fuck that. Yep, that's the build I'm going for, James. We about to be swinging dual katanas, boy.
All right, he totally got hit by that fireball, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Hold on, can we talk about something real quick? Can we talk about something?
Yo, that's that boss that was fighting yesterday.
Yeah. Hold on, what's this dude's name? World of Warcraft troll boss. No. There's one that looks exactly like this man with the armor and everything. Hold on. Sorry, I needed to find it because I was literally just thinking about it. All right, I'm gonna have to find it later and see if we can match them up. They literally have the same exact fucking dude pretty much in WoW, but with like the same kind of armor. He has the same exact hair. It's wild. Look, you see that shit? The 2 swords and everything. The same 2 tool wars and everything.
Oh no.
This guy I've got to fight.
I saw Asmund. I saw Asmund fighting him, and everyone is like, "You're not supposed to." Everybody's like, "You're not supposed to fight him." He's like, "Oh, I'm not. Oh, fuck!" And he left.
Is that Kreuzvogel right there, bro?
All right. Vol'jin, yes, fuck, that's right. It's Vol'jin.
Rise with us against the Earth Tree.
Never met someone with a taste for Bono control.
Shit. Rip. Yeah, he's done. He's done, dog.
Hey, you can jump on those?
And once all is done, we shall see each other.
Praise the sun. I saw this fight. This fight's fucking wild.
Bro, is this Bayonetta now, though?
He has a gravity attack that lifts you off the ground and then slams you. Andy was fighting it the other night, so I looked in to watch. All right. So we all know that the Metacritic score is fucking wild, but why is the user score 7.8? We got to know, right? We got to know. Let's find out before we get into our thoughts and prayers on this game. Support the Arabic, Arabic language.
Arabic.
There's no Arabic language. Support the Arabic language. There's no Arabic language. They gave it a 0 because their language wasn't supported. I mean, I get that, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know what the hell's going on. So,
But at the same
And
time,
you can't
like,
report on it because you ain't played the game.
right, exactly.
touche. No. They played the game. They just didn't understand.
All right, let's take this man's itemized list here, James, and let's talk about it, okay?
Okay.
A boring, repetitive, empty, giant open world, generic and recycled bosses and enemies.
What? No.
He literally booted up
This-
Skyrim. All right, just making sure.
Yeah. He's playing the wrong game because the world is huge. There's so much diversity in each and individual area, not only just with the artwork, but the enemies and the difficulty on each of those. And then, oh my god, like I've been. Go ahead.
Me and James are more than 40 hours in. We do not agree. We'll just put it there, okay?
Yeah.
People are lazy and Elden Ring doesn't have Ubisoft trash. That's why. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
The same old style from software way of telling a story. A boring puzzle that has to be solved through reading hundreds of items, descriptions, and cryptic conversations with stoned NPCs.
And yet, y'all fucking eat this shit up.
Wait.
Wait, what?
The same old style.
That's my thing. If this is how you felt, that tells me that you've bought every FromSoft game and still played it anyway.
Okay. So they have made literally some of the highest rated games of all time.
Yeah.
If not all of their games are all highly rated games. I don't think in the last, 10 years have they released a game that has done bad. Like I'm talking about has been a critical failure. Right, most of their games have been, if not a success, a critical success, right? Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. All games, they literally pioneered a genre. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's why it's called they're called Souls
here's,
game.
Here's this is what boils that entire thing down. There's no quest log. I have to actually remember what NPCs say to me. That's
what that
exactly
sounds
what
like.
it is.
So
Like, I can
that's what
see
that
the
sounded
benefit
like.
of having a quest log, but from a developer standpoint, you want people
Wow.
to actually consume the
So, like-
content that you make.
No.
and
I make it even
forcing
easier than
you
that.
to pay attention
So like I have to play the
makes
game?
so much sense. Yeah,
Like,
because
I actually have to- I actually have to play the game.
I ain't did it before. Why am I going to do it now?
Right. Wait, you mean I have to actually play a game? Like,
Yeah,
like, what-
yeah. Oh, wait, you want me to immerse myself in this?
Right.
What?
Bloodborne
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
PC port or Riot.
I'm about to circle back a conversation. This person is probably a person that uses Deadly Boss mods, James. I'm gonna go sip my tea real quick. Hold on. That's good. Some good H2O right there. All right. Clunky combat system and light speed bosses from Tekken, rolling through infinite AoE attack combos just to land 1 or 2 strikes and repeat.
That I
So,
can
like-
agree with.
So like every Souls boss?
No.
Have they ever played Jedi
There's
Fallen
a
Order?
handful of bosses that have most of their moves have tells and they're big AoEs. And then when you get up close,
So you roll out
get
of that
one
and then you
attack
smack
off.
them?
and then you have to roll back away.
So
Like,
yeah.
Cannot stay next to them.
Land
Like, it
1 or
is-
2 strikes and then roll out. Yeah.
So what you're saying is I actually have to play the game? That's bullshit.
Like, so okay, so most bosses when you're fighting against them, well, most bosses that I've played against, like your stagger attacks, they stagger them. There are bosses you can't stagger until you've
As there
filled
should be.
your entire stagger meter that they go down on one knee. But then you can't even do a critical hit against them. Like,
Because you're lazy, not incompetent.
Oh my god. Here's the thing,
man.
right? Here's the thing is that when it comes to games like this, I beg you, if you think Souls is hard, play For Honor. I was a For Honor champion. If you guys are interested in the chat, I will play a For Honor video about how dueling actually works in a game where it's actually just against players. It's literally Dark Souls PvP, except it's like if you want to block an attack, you have to select the correct direction with your controller or keyboard and mouse and block in that direction. And if you miss and you get hit, you have no one else to blame but yourself. Like, For Honor is one of the most hardcore PvP games on the planet. If you think Dark Souls is hard, play that game. Like, Dark Souls requires you to dodge, dip, duck, use a shield, and parry. The unfortunate thing is people don't utilize any other tool other than the roll. And that's the problem. Like, that is their own... Like, I'll use the word incompetence.
Going in with double, if you're going in dual wielding, you have nothing but the parry, or you have nothing but the roll.
Right. That's fine. But that is your choice, right? The game is not forcing you to do that. The game is not forcing you to dodge roll. Like, I play a mage, right? And if I'm getting shot by an arrow the size of the fucking Twin Towers building, I'm going to use a shield block because it's going to save my life. Rolling has the chance to kill me, so blocking is the other option, right? Like, people are just, I feel like something is difficult, right? It has to be the game's fault. We used to, if Wiggly's still in the chat, he used to play For Honor with me. We used to have a squad of 5 people, and 3 out of the 5 people would literally for the entirety of every match bitch and complain about how they're losing fights because the game is bad. But literally, me and Wiggly will go into a 1v1 match and practice against our weaknesses and then go in and murder everything. Because, like, if you complain about something being bad because you are not taking the time to get good at it, it's your own fault. Mm-hmm. That's legit what it is. It's like being mad you can't beat a boss in any video game. It's because you are trying to smash your head against it, not learn how your character plays, and then you lose. Fighting games are the same way. It's the same shit. James, For Honor, fantastic game. Old game, fantastic game. Yeah. Few pieces of equipment are terrible. Few pieces of equipment and terrible drop rates. You kill a boss just to retrieve some useless material. Except you turn the material in to buy the weapons.
So yeah, the big bosses, so I don't know if this isn't going towards the main bosses. The side bosses. There's side bosses that are literally, like, I killed one of those tree guardians by one of the minor trees.
Yeah.
The motherfucker just gave me a flower.
The blood flower. The blood roses, right?
No. The blood roses are worthless too.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten anything useless from them. I've gotten lots of materials.
Like, if I want to play the blood roses are for, like, if I'm trying to play a archer with bleed.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's a good item. But all other playstyles is completely worthless.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, the game is not catered to one class; it's catered to all of them.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's pretty cool that way. But like a drop of an item that regrows in a couple of different locations that you can literally spam re-enter that dungeon.
You want to install
putting it on a bus? It's kind of, it is a bad decision in my personal opinion, but yeah.
Dude, Mordhau was awesome, man. I didn't really get into it too much because I liked For Honor having more different various combat types, but yeah, Mordhau's pretty good. Poor performance, I can agree with. I can agree with on PC, the performance is not great, but I turned my graphics down a notch and it plays fantastic. I've had no problem since. The problem is everybody wants to play everything on the highest settings and they can't, so they have problems. Different from Dark Souls and the others, Elden Ring is mediocre at building tension. I don't feel that at all.
No.
Do you think it's mediocre at building tension?
No.
You ever walk through a room and get backstabbed by an enemy?
Like
that happened to me.
when
got fucking backstabbed.
When you're running into what seems to be maybe a boss arena and that music change happens and you're like, oh, fuck.
And then you turn around and the door's closed? Yeah. Never fun.
Or you walk into that dark room and the screen goes black and then you hear laughing
and the latch closes
again,
on
and there's
you.
a dude there just about to fuck you up. Yeah.
That dude in the armor with the fucking wind powers. That dude was a pain in the dick. You remember him, James? You're like, why is this room dark? Why did I hear the door lock?
Yeah.
Oh shit, Miko with the raid. Appreciate you, girl. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your stream was good. Welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping by. This is SKWADcast episode 20. Hope you guys are having a good day. We're just talking some games. I've always been a medium custom graphics setting person. It depends on the situation. But I'll crank the graphics up and reduce my monitor size so I can get the broad graphics and like increase my FPS and stuff for certain games, or I'll break out the 4K monitor. But
in this game, honestly, like it's
gorgeous.
So if you turn off multiplayer and you run around in an area for a second, you're fine, because of the way that this port is you have to load the what is it, skin patterns and skins and whatnot for it to come up. Yeah, the shaders, there you go. The shaders for everything at least once, and then you're fine. Like when you first jump into the game, like it's very like stuttery, like trying to fight the tree sentinel at the beginning of the game. If you just jumped into the game, you're gonna have a buggy time and it's bad. But if you play it for a little bit, see the area around it, and then you go back and try to fight them, it's smooth as butter. So
this person's talking from the PlayStation side, I guess. This is just this is PS5. I've never heard anybody indicate that there was problems like being framey, but if you turn it on in performance mode, or if you have performance mode off, it's 4K 30 FPS, I believe. Why would you ever want to play? 30. Why would you ever want to play the game that way? Like, it's a Souls game. You need to be able to move.
Yeah, that split second timing for those dodges or the parry. Like you have to have. Like I like playing on my PC because I can get that 60 FPS nonstop. So.
Oh my God! Another 0 for language. I can't stand overhyped gamers and paid game reviews, so that's why I'm giving it 0 points. Game itself has nothing original to offer. Empty world, over 10-year-old game mechanics, bad graphics, no story. This is just a lazy game made for those fanboys who don't give a shit. It's not even that difficult. Although his identity is based on that, it's just a new lazily made game without a soul. Why bother? If you are here for Miko's stream, welcome, y'all. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to refresh your streams. That way we can see who's here. We are currently recording a podcast, and we hope you guys enjoy. Right now we're talking about Elden Ring, and right now we're just going through the Metacritic reviews to see what people are saying. And as you can see, there are a lot of people that gave it really low reviews, but a lot of them are kind of like dumb reasonings. Yeah. And then we'll talk about our experience in the game. But yeah, we've been talking about some games, Pokemon, etc. So it's been a pretty good conversation today. Let's get to this next one real quick. No English version on SEA version. Wait, what?
What?
Extremely disappointed in the fact that this is not even clearly mentioned when you buy the game. Feels like a steal. Are they talking about like British English, or are they like... That doesn't make sense. It's true. It doesn't have soul. It has ring. Yep, you're right. And you collect ashes. You don't collect souls. So 97 by critics. What? Riding a horse in an open world with bad graphics and old textures isn't innovative. I've not heard anybody complain about it on PlayStation 5 yet. This is crazy. Look at this.
Like, I'm playing on PC, and like people saying it's bad. The graphics are amazing.
Awfully optimized. The game is a console optimized. I don't know what they're talking about. PS3 graphics. Check. Hold on. Hang on a second, y'all. Hang on a second. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to change the scene of this real quick so you guys can see what PS3 graphics looks like. Let's talk about it real quick. Bring the game up right now. I have it running in the background. Guys, does this look like PS3 graphics to y'all? Or am I losing my shit?
No, not even close.
Hold on, I'm gonna slash around real quick by accident. Does this look like PS3 graphics to you guys? I'm on medium settings. This isn't even the highest game settings. Volumetric fog, light shafts, like those are reflections. I don't have RTX turned on. I don't even think that's an option in this game. You can see the moon's reflection in position. Like, look at all that's going on in the scene. Look at the grass textures, the plants moving, the trees moving in the background. Does this look like PS3? I don't think that's PS3. Corey, does it look PS3 to you, bro?
Nah, bro.
You sure? That doesn't look like
we talking about Metal Gear Solid, bro.
That doesn't look like Tenchu Stealth Assassin to you, bro. People are very they argue and get nitpicky about some of the weirdest stuff, and then like somebody mentioned mob mentality, and I think that comes a lot of the situation. Oh, this is the wrong scene. Did it pop? Okay, there we go. Same as all the previous Souls games, there has been next to zero improvements in graphics from Dark Souls 3, and the open world map is massive for no reason. I don't get how you go from Sekiro to this. I mean, that was the point, right?
Yeah, like they're trying to branch out from just a linear game with multiple branches that are still linear.
Do something a little different.
Do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Like there's a central storyline that, yes, you have to pay attention to. No, you're not going to get quest markers, just like in every other Souls game. You have to die a couple of times before you get it right. That's the entire point of the game. Like it's hard. It's all about timings for most of the things. Like I get the complaints about the stuttering, but the game looks amazing. Like you find anything that has better graphics, like
Okay.
on modern AAA titles right now. It's like they're all on par.
Okay, here's a question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's two scenarios. All right, two scenarios. Oh, you know what? We already have a version. Say From Software makes Dark Souls, right? They've made all the Dark Soul games, right? We already know they made Sekiro also, right? That is their motif. That is their game. That is what they make. They're very good at making these types of games, right? Okay. So then you go play Jedi Fallen Order, which is a Dark Souls game, but set in the Star Wars world. Okay, right? That is not a From Software game, right? But imagine somebody in that Metacritic says this is just a Dark Souls copy. It's a Dark Souls 2 rip or Dark Souls 3 rip off. Like the gameplay is the same, yada yada. I can see that because that's what that game was meant to be. A Dark Souls game in a Star Wars world made by a different developer that enjoys probably Dark Souls games, right? Imagine seeing Elden Ring and saying this game is a copy of Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that's
in an open world.
It's Dark Souls 3 with a jump from Sekiro. And they've taken, like, from what I can tell, they've taken a lot of the good things from all the Souls games, put it into one game, and made it an open world. On top of that, making it completely co-opable throughout the entire game, instead of only being able to co-op in little instances like they did in all of them. Like, I don't like that you can't sit at a grace when you're in, co-op with someone else, but
This person called it right here. Like, this is their first Souls game. And they said, I've played a ton of open world games. I feel that we have two concepts that don't really fully work together. How can you champion exploration and experimentation when a brutal death, often with a steep cost, lies around every corner? Many of them unavoidable the first time through. Literally what they're going for.
I mean, look,
sounds like tension to me.
Half of the fun of this game is you find out the hard way.
Right.
Kid.
Like,
don't make that mistake a second time, and keep it moving.
I mean, I want to see all of these people that are leaving these bad reviews for these little stupid things like this play video games back in the 80s when there was no save files. You can't pick up when you left off. You had to start the game from literally 1 second in.
Well, because we're running super long, it's nearly 9 o'clock. James, give me your 1 out of 10.
I would say this is a 9 out of 10.
I would have to agree with you on that. And the reason why is because I agree with the choppy gameplay sometimes, especially when you're fighting a boss and you're having to dodge roll and move around a lot. It does get, I don't like to use the word framey because it's not getting framey. It's literally the net code of the game is very bad. I think that because I said, I'm playing on medium settings. I'm on a 2080. I have an i7. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. There's no bottleneck for me in this game. It's just might be, my PC while streaming right now, while having the game running in the background, while having multiple tabs open for Chrome and Discord call all together, while streaming everything to them, I am not even at 50% CPU right now. Like, there's nothing my PC is doing wrong. So it has to do with their servers because it is an online mostly game. And the other part of it is when you're in a high tense thing, like I said, framey, like I was fighting the warden in the very beginning of the game. Like, I didn't want to leave the opening area till he was dead. And that made it difficult because I would try to dodge and like it would look like, I was playing in slow motion or the game was just like clipping and clipping and clipping. So that's
and the
just
only
my
reason
issue.
why I knock off a 1.1, the stuttering, it's not a big thing for me because I go any new areas I'm expecting to die because, well, I'm bad. But the other thing was oh god, I lost it. Oh, it can be grindy. Once you get up there, it starts becoming a little grindy to get those extra levels so that you can take on those stronger bosses. And the grind, along with you make a bad mistake and then trying to get back to pick up your souls. Like, there's ways to fight it in the game. Because there are items that you can carry them that you don't lose. Yeah, the twigs. So if you're a bad player and you're gonna die in the next 10 minutes, carrying one of those and making sure it's put up is an absolute must.
Well, that's the thing, is that's something that's in every one of those games. I mean, Jedi Fallen Order had that too, right? Like, if you died, you lost your XP and stuff. Like, you had to go back to the area you're at, pick your shit up. Like, that's just the crux of the type of game. But I do agree that it being an open world makes it a lot more daunting task because, again, you could literally walk around the wrong corner. I know I do too, but that's what makes it fun for me.
You have to be careful. You already know it's a Souls game, so you got to be careful every step that you take. The fact that it's an open world game means that there's so much to explore while trying to be careful. So it makes it makes it more immersive to me. It's like if there's a mod that you can make or use in Skyrim that makes it into a Souls game, and I thought it was amazing. It was a lot of fun to play with, and it made it hard, and it revamped the entire game for me for the probably 2 weeks that I played it again.
Well, I enjoy this more than Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because it has more focus, but it's more focused for me. Like in Skyrim, I think Skyrim has more. I think this has more gameplay, because I feel like Skyrim is a lot of walking around and like, yeah, you can walk around and fight things and there's stuff that's going on in the game, but like I feel like every turn in this game has an enemy. Every turn has something to find. Whereas in Skyrim, it was like, I don't know, it was more massive than necessary. And like, say I'm the type of person to play Skyrim and follow just the main story. Like you beat the main story in like 5 hours, the game is over. And then like, I'm like, okay, now what do I do now? And it's like, well, now you play the game, but like, now I just don't want to. Fuck that. Yeah. Like, but this is forcing me to explore, to beat the game. And that's more interesting.
Like technically, if you're good enough, yes, you can go in and beat every one of the bosses. You can probably beat the game in like 5 hours, if that. If you're highly skilled enough, without even you can beat it at level, at level 10. Highly unlikely.
Some of those boss fights would take an hour themselves.
Well, yeah, because you're doing you're doing 50 damage when they have a health pool of like 1,000,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it would take a lot longer, but like, it's doable. You can go directly through, but like, why?
Yeah. So like, it's people thinking it's the instant gratification crowd that I think that's having an issue with the game too.
I think it's the crowd that are not used to playing highly difficult games, and like they're expecting an action game and they're getting a Dark Souls game because it is not called Dark Souls. They don't know. They see Elden Ring.
We didn't see any comments about the anti-cheat on this one.
Right. Well, the thing is like the crazy thing is that like when you see this game, when I saw this game, I thought it was going to be something akin to Skyrim. I didn't realize what it was going to be. Like I bought it off of the okay, this is something that is akin to Skyrim. It's going to be more difficult. I knew who From Software was, but I didn't know what this game was. I saw Asmund stream it for a little bit when they had like the dev test or whatever, and he was fighting a boss that looked really fun, and I was like, okay, this looks like it'll be interesting to play. I'll give it a shot. Literally just believing that it was like an open world RPG, not that it was a Souls game. I literally remember I was like, oh shit, this game looks fun. And you're like, I was like, I literally just bought it. You're like, yep, me too. I was like, bet. And then I looked online. I was like, oh, it's a Souls game. I was like, well, and what did you say? You're like, you're not going to play much of this, are you? I was like, probably fucking not. And now look at me.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
Like it's I'm absolutely in love with this game. So like, I mean, like Souls 1, 2, and 3, I played each of them.
How many times?
Maybe a month or two. I know how many hours do I have in Souls 3? That was my favorite one. But why is it not showing up on my list?
It's all good. We're getting to the end of this anyway. This has gone on long enough. We've tortured the people.
I'm more surprised that you didn't know that it was a Souls game, because I knew that it was a Souls game.
I knew it
was a Souls game that had consultation from George R.R. Martin.
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't pay attention to Souls games, right? So this, like, remember, Elden Ring wasn't on my radar. I was into Lost Ark. We're talking Dying Light. We're talking Back 4 Blood. We're talking about, when did we ever talk about Elden Ring?
I mean, it's been on the radar because it was there for.
I was intentionally trying not to hype up the game.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't bringing it up in conversation. I've been waiting for it.
I knew of it. I knew what it was, but like, that's not a game that we typically discuss, even off podcast, right? Like, we don't talk about Souls. Like, when's the last time we talked about a Souls game until this came out? Jedi Fallen Order, which really wasn't even a Souls game. I mean, like, and even that was 2 years ago. So it's like this game was just not something that I had cared about, I guess. Yeah. And then because of how good it is, I now care. Like, it made me pay attention. And now look at me. Like I said, I'm like nearly 50 hours in the game and loving every fucking. I'm so in that I'm trying a new character out because I want to try a different build. And I love my sorcerer. Sorcerer's murdering shit. James is real jelly about that too. My sorcerer fucking OP. And like that sorcerer I've done literally just by exploration, finding stuff. Like I found a really OP helmet. I was like, what the fuck is this crab, James? He's like, I don't know. And I killed the crab. I was like, oh, it's a helmet. Holy shit, it's a helmet. Like finding stuff like that has made me so happy. But now I'm trying an actual build to see how it goes and see how the game plays from there. Like I'm going to try a melee build and see how I like it. Like there's so many possibilities in the game. We've been enjoying it. James and I love it. Tommy's been watching, Hawkeye in the background. Eventually, maybe one day he started playing fucking Bloodborne because he was like, man, let me try these Souls games out to see what I think.
And even then, I haven't even played it.
That's the thing. Right. But that's the thing for me is like, I don't want to play Bloodborne. I don't care about it. Like, I know it's a great game.
It's a Souls game that's free, so
right. I know it's a great game. I know people love it. I know you're giving it a shot because it is free. Because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game since it's available, right? And I get that, but I've never had the draw. Despite how much people talk about how good it is, I've never had the draw, and I've never had the want to play that game. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just I don't like torturing myself. And now look at me.
Yep. That's why I played Sekiro for as long as I did too.
Right. Will I go back and play?
I was like, yeah, no problem, bro.
Nah, I'm not going to do none of that. This is it for me. This is my one Souls game. That's it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your patience and time. I appreciate you guys being here. We had a blast talking about everything we haven't talked about in like 3 weeks, even though, we've actually been pretty tight-lipped about stuff too. Like we've been like, okay, we won't talk about this until the next podcast. So that's been pretty cool. Not watching the Pokemon video and all that has been.
I was glad that I didn't know there was a direct because I totally forgot about it.
Me too. Like I just have not paid attention to like much gaming news recently. So that's why I didn't even know freaking Gran Turismo was coming out. Because I just had stopped looking for a time because I knew we weren't going to be live for a while. So with that being said, thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the sub, Wiggly. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out, everybody that was here and chatted with us. Miko, if you're still there, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. This was episode 20 of the SKWADcast. We'll see you in the next one, right? 21?
Yep.
Plus 9 plus 10. What? No. I'm not. Not today.
Come on.
Not today.
Come on. Let's go.
You're asking for too much.
No. I'm not asking to.
You get a. Oh yeah. That's what you can have today.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I closed it out already. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I feel like now the outro and the intro just gotta be like that clip of that song just because it's so good. You know, and I can just go find it real quick because
we on YouTube right now. Why not?
All right. I was like, hold on a second. Wait a minute. And but at the same time, no, because I don't want to. Where's it at? Yes, turn that off. Turn that off. Well, kind of, but kind of not. Kind of, but kind of not. What the hell is the name of the song?
I don't see.
I got it. Yeah.
Music video.
I'm over here fiddling around with all this stuff real quick because never mind. You know what? Fuck it. It's too much work right now. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you. We love you. We hope you have a great night. We'll see you in the next one, which tomorrow is going to be the decompression stream at 5:45 p.m.
I'm whispering in my ear.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh man. we had to come back real quick for Richie. Thank you, I appreciate that. Have a good night, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
I have emails.